There is one man responsible for the Dolphins losing yesterday. There is one man who had control of that game in his possession the entire game, almost the entire game. And that one man may have just saved the Dolphins' future. I'm going to tell you who that guy is next.
I think I appreciated his effort. I thought he ran as hard as he's ran all season. I thought it was a big part of our success, but we can't turn the ball over, especially to that team, and expect to win the football game. So.
Good afternoon, Fin fans. It is afternoon color commentary, and it is me, Culler, and I'm going to tell you why everything just got fixed. The Tua Hall of Fame Brigade is out in full force today. The defensive shills are in shambles. We don't know what to do with ourselves. It's all over with. We figured it out. Not only did the defense lose us the game this week, turns out it's why we're 7-11 since Germany. Who knew? But boy, oh boy, man, you cannot go anywhere on social media without them two in ears saying, "Yo, Hall of Fame is back, baby. Let's do it up. David J. We got our Hall of Fame quarterback back. Jeff Jew, what's good, man? Marino's goat. I think Marino's goat knows where I'm going with this. Hit the like button, everybody. I'm in a good mood today, as you can tell. Little reggae always puts me in a good mood. You can always count on it to get you there. You know, it just, when I think of all the issues in life, I think, man, the Dolphins, wow. You know, it's reggae that reminds me that it's just a game. I'm in a quite good mood. As I think everybody should be. Banana, what's up? Shake Money, no, it is not Abe Lincoln. Adam Sadowski, how's it going? I see all of you in here. I just want to get into it. I think it's a great day. I think the Dolphins are finally figuring out where their trajectory is, where they're going from here. And according to Josh Moser, Drew Rosenhaus told him that he expects the Dolphins to be buyers ahead of tomorrow's trade deadline. How do you like that? Mike McDaniel today saying him and Greer are convicted that we're going to get ourselves fixed. Guess what? So am I. Is the Dolphins season over? Somebody call Drew. Now a major betting site out there putting their odds on the Kansas City Chiefs to land Tyreek Hill if the Dolphins decide to trade him. That's Bovada, one of the betting sites. That's their opinion. I mean, one thing's for certain. I think that I said it before. I'll say it again. The rest of the way, we can only hope for the only thing that's going to get us out of this mess for our season, for our team, and for our organization's mid to long-term future is execution. That's it. What's up, Crypto? Michael K. Y'all got some work to do, Michael K. And if you can't recognize that, you're in for a big letdown. What's up, Mudbone? I think I'm happy with yesterday because it confirmed a lot of things I already knew. It confirmed for me right where we're at as an organization, as a team, as an offense, as a defense. Everything was confirmed yesterday. I got a poll running after you hit the like button. Keyword after you hit the like button. Hit the poll. Do you believe McDaniel and Greer are honest to us fans? And the context of that question is these reports and words out of McDaniel's own mouth that suggest that we're just going to try to execute our way out of this problem. Like I keep saying, that's all we can do. The only thing going to get us out of this mess is execution, one way or another. What y'all don't realize is, or some of you I should say, is that this mess has nothing to do with wins and losses. A measure of success right now, if you want to talk about wins and losses being the measure of success, that went out the door when Tua went on IR. You see, what you all measure as success as compared to what I'm measuring as success right now is not based on wins and losses. Yes, I want to win. I want to win tomorrow. I want to win next year. I want to win the year after that. I want to win the year after that. Because there's something that winning does for you as much as losing does, which Mike McDaniel said. We're going to go through his press conference and you'll hear it out of his own mouth. Going through what we're going through right now identifies who is who and what whose agenda is. So we're going to get our execution one way or another, whether it's a bunch of grocery store workers, as Flores was able to, or whether it's Tyreek Hill and Waddle and Tua and all these other guys. We're going to get our execution. And so what I suspect is, especially confirmed yesterday against the Bills, is that none of that has changed. I told you all last week, this is where we're at. A win against the Bills will kill two birds with one stone. It tell us we still have a chance. It'll also tell us, hey, we're respectable. But I also told you there wasn't no respectable losses this week. We're 2-6. I'm glad the team thinks they want to try to work through that and still make something out of it. Fine. That's exactly what I want you to do. Because you know what that's going to require? Everybody tell me in chat. Go ahead. You can use the word. It's okay. It's going to require execution. So we're going to find out. We're going to absolutely find out. So now that we are truly at rock bottom, now that we know we're truly at rock bottom, because you got everybody now saying the defense is trash. Okay, fine. I will make my case as to why the defense didn't responsible for that loss yesterday. But that's one game. The reason we're 7-11 since Germany is because of execution. Period. In all facets of our organization. I don't know how many times I can say it. So y'all think I'm being a simpleton. But actually what I'm saying is the only truth. It's the nice way of saying this general manager, this owner, and this head coach gave us exactly what we asked for. So unless all the doomsayers are correct and McDaniel's getting fired and all that stuff, there is only one way out of it for an organization. We tanked already to reset our financial books. We can't do that again. We are not in the position to do what everybody wants us to do. We're either going to win or we're going to lose. But we're in no position to blow this team up whatsoever, nor should we. Because there are a couple key moves and a couple key people you can identify who don't want to execute that you can get off this team, and we would fare better. I guarantee you we would fare better than 7-11 in our last 18 ball games. I challenge you to prove me wrong. Because guess what? there's only one way to go 8-1 now. And if we take that avenue, guess what? We can beat Buffalo. We can beat Buffalo without Tyreek Hill. We can beat Buffalo without Tua. You see, we're finally understanding what it takes to win football games in the NFL. We're finally starting to get there. Tua has one great game, elevates us to mediocre, and everybody wants to jump off the ship and tell me, oh, our defense is trash, and it lost us the game. Bullshit. Bullshit. That's what I call that, respectfully. So if you hit the like button enough times and you vote in the poll, I'll tell you who that guy is that has completely changed our future. The poll question is, do you believe McDaniel and Greer are honest to the fans? Yes, no, or for you funny guys out there, Abe Lincoln would blush. Either because they're so honest or because they're outright liars. Would take your choice. But that answer is meant to weed out the funny guys. So yes, no, or Abe Lincoln would blush. Do you believe McDaniel and Greer are honest to the fans? So far with, good turnout so far. 51 votes, only 30 likes though. 21 of you voted without hitting the like button. Appreciate that. And right now, we have 16% saying yes, 71% saying no, and 14% saying Abe Lincoln would blush. So keep getting your votes in. I'm going to let it run a little longer. I usually like to get at least over 100 for a sample size to feel like I got a good pulse of my audience. So get your votes in. Hit the like button before you do. And I appreciate all 51 of you watching on YouTube right now. And all 104 of you across all the platforms. If you're on Twitter and Twitch or any other platform, if you're hearing me on a future uploaded podcast on Spotify or Apple, thank you guys there too. Make sure you're coming over to YouTube to give us a like and a subscribe. Join the chat over here. There's a lot of good people. There's a lot of buttheads, but there's a lot of good people here too. And I vouch for this audience, so we try to keep them as intelligent as possible. That's why we have a smaller audience. It's a more refined audience. So shout out to y'all. I love all the members. Follow the lead of the members and become a member yourself. Pretty soon, I'm going to start saying things that only members can hear. And we're going to end up having a show pretty soon where it's members. I turn on the members only button. And we have a real conversation. Okay, so become a member. Donate to the channel. We really appreciate it. Super chats, super stickers. And today, for at least an hour, I'm going to give you my take on all of it going on. Yesterday, the current state of the Dolphins, all of that. But in order to do that, I'm not going to engage with the average chat because I need you all to hear me because a lot of your questions will be answered if you just hear all of what I have to say. So I really am not going to be. I'm going to probably not pay attention to chat for a minute. So no offense to y'all. I will, however, always read member chats directed at me, and I would read super chats, of course. But that's out of respect to the people using their hard-earned money to make a statement Other than that, I'm going to get out what I have to say, and I'm going to try not to engage with the people that want to get me distracted on micro issues and, things that at the end of the day don't matter. There are at least 3 that I can count points in that football game yesterday. 3 opportunities to give us enough points to have scored more than 30. There's at least 3 opportunities that I can count. Backed up by the fact that we won the time of possession. Once again, our offense had plenty of opportunities to not even chance relying on our defense. We do not win with our defense. We don't. Nobody in the NFL does. It requires points to win. And when you're facing a team like the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen, you are going into it knowing what you're getting. You're knowing that even on your defense's best day, the way it's constructed, is going to give up a certain number of points. The reason we know that is because in all of the games that we've been competitive, where we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot, our defense has given up relatively the same number of points. You knew going into this game, unless you don't know what you're looking at, that you were going to have to score more than 30 points. You knew that going in. You knew that whether you believed in the defense or not. I knew it. I believed in the defense. Everybody else knew it who didn't believe in the defense. Everybody in the league knew it. Everybody in the world that understands football knew it. And half of y'all that don't understand football knew it. And you're going into a game against the Buffalo Bills where you're missing your absolute 100% best open field tackler on your team. I know people have to step up. I understand. But even with your best tackler on your team, you get cooked by this offense. And we knew that going in. You're going into the game without your best defensive lineman. Now, arguably, Calais Campbell, okay, whatever. And even with your best defensive lineman, you still give up 30 points to this team every time you play them. So without all those guys, We forced them to have to win the game with a 61-yard field goal. After our offense repeatedly, once again, relinquished control of our destiny. Now, I want to credit the offense with two things, because I do stand on my business. When Jalen Ramsey intercepted the ball at the 3-yard line, you rewarded that defensive performance. You marched 97 yards down the field and scored a touchdown to reward the defense. Hallelujah. It's about time. Everybody, you know what? Kick the music on. It's party time. Get a little different one. It's reggae day, baby. Our offense cashed in on a defensive turnover. Strike the band. Hit the like button, everybody. What's up, Fins Up Winsy? Fins Up Winsy gets it. Thank you for the donation. 20 New Zealand dollars. Don't need to be rude with my last comment. We're all frustrated. What was the last comment? Did I miss one? I know everybody's frustrated. Fins Up. It's okay. Just jam to some reggae. It'll get you right there. We're on the sailboat, floating in Biscayne, watching the planes fly by. One other time, the defense got the Bills to punt. And the offense drove down the field and scored. Hallelujah. Twice in one game. Y'all feeling it yet? No? Joe's feeling it? Look at Joe. $10 donation. Appreciate you, Joe. Happy Monday. Bills suck. Fins 2025. You got it, Joe. Hey, it ain't over yet. Call Drew. All we got to do, call Drew. So, yeah. Did I ask you, did I remind you to hit the like button yet? But guess what? Oh, one other thing. The defense got the Bills to punt on their opening scripted drive. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Let's party for that too. Let's turn it up for that. Got them to punt on their opening scripted drive. And then on their next drive, we held them to a field goal. Gotta love it. You know what the offense did in between that? field goal. That's an opportunity right there. Defense didn't have nothing to do with that missed opportunity. Where was that? How many points difference would that have been? How many? 4, you say? But still, near one of them are responsible for the loss yesterday. See, y'all thought I was blaming the offense. I'm too sycophants. They're so predictable. Y'all thought I was blaming the offense. Nope. None of that had to do with why we lost yesterday. Did y'all hear that? Clip it. Get ready to clip it. None of that had anything to do with why we lost yesterday. Not yet, anyway. Oh, guess what? We got a fumble. We had a fumble on their side of the field, which means we fumbled without giving them a short field. You believe that? Now, you might ask yourselves, man, why didn't we give them a short field on a fumble? Oh, that's right. Because we were on our way into scoring on their side of the field when Mostert fumbled the football. Not only did that let them back in the game, but that also took points off the board for us. Did I need to say that slower? It took points off the board for us. Now, we just want to glaze over that because Mike McDaniel excused it. So it has to be the defense's fault. You guys got it. Mike McDaniel excused the fumble. So it's the defense's fault. Oh, Chef's getting into it. Chef wants the music back. All right, we'll bring it in. Let me see what else I got. I got a new lineup. HB provided me like a whole lineup here of some kind of nice, relaxing tunes. Let's see what this one sounds like. Oh, I like it. It's a little half and half. A little bit of reggae overtones, but not full. I like it. Chef's got some good taste. Is that what they call that Dolphin on calypso? Yeah, it is a little calypso-ish. A little bit of reggae mix. A little bit of ska. Yeah, we're just jamming today. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? It's a nice afternoon. It's kind of cloudy today. It's hot, muggy, South Florida, you know. Then guess what else happened? Hey, you know what? We had the control of the ball and the clock before we scored a touchdown to tie the game. And we're so amateur. We have such a lack of belief in ourselves that we had to like make sure we got the touchdown instead of keeping the ball in bounds and burning more time off the clock. And then possibly making the gutsy decision of going for 2 and ending the game. Well, you can still tie it there, but guess what? That 61-yarder becomes a 90-yarder because they ain't got time to get that far. Oh, that sounds familiar. Now, I'm not putting that on the players, other than Achane could have kept it in bounds. But why are we throwing a screen to the sideline? I mean, I know the answer to that question. That was rhetorical. I mean, really, how much clock does Josh Allen need to get it to the computer-generated field goal range that we see on TV? You ever notice that? That little computer-generated field goal range? I think some of you are starting to feel where I'm going with this. And it's the truth. So with an ample amount of time for a guy like Josh Allen, for the fact that our defense is what it is and is going to be able to be exploited by Josh Allen, who already demonstrated scoring a unbelievably improbable touchdown already. That's 7 extra points. We still held them to 50% third down conversion rate. So even with Josh Allen doing Josh Allen things, it took Josh Allen for them to get to convert third downs. And we're blaming our defense for that as if we never expected that. If you expected to win this game, it doesn't matter if you've got the best defense in the world or the worst defense in the world. You do not leave it in the hands of your defense. I don't know how hard that is to understand. In this league, where everything favors the offense, we sit up here and cry and moan about how everything in this league favors the offense. Yet we put it all on our defense as if we're sitting there playing computer-generated players that are just going to do what you say. As if they know the play. As if you're sitting there looking at your buddy's playbook on the same TV screen. Oh, I didn't even mention that one, Lance. That's number 4 opportunity to put points on the board that was left on the field. Tua fumbling another snap. Maybe he needs somebody to get off the couch and stop eating their chips to come catch those shotguns. After all that, you still stopped Josh Allen and his offense from reaching the computer-generated suggested field goal range TV marker. Now, let me tell you something about that TV marker. It means nothing. Did you hear me? Before anybody comes at me, that TV indicator of field goal range means nothing. Don't act like I don't understand that. But you know what it does set? You know what it does do? It sets a standard. That's what it does. There is no defense on this planet that is expected to hold an offense like Josh Allen to anywhere behind that marker. It's a standard. That's why it's there. It's there for our enjoyment. It's there for casuals to see it easier. What is really going on? Because beyond that marker, this is the standard that the NFL has set and the networks have set. Beyond that marker, there is a very, very low probability that your kicker is going to make it. Or that something is going to happen. Blocked, mishandled, whatever. Besides the fact that if you don't make it from that range, your offense has the ball right there with 5 seconds to work with. Maybe a little more because it took time for the kick to get there. So we'd have had like 7-8 seconds to work with in a tie ball game at the 49-yard line. I know that's a reach, but it doesn't matter. The point is, after all of what we just talked about, all those missed opportunities by the offense, all the failures throughout the day of the defense, they still stopped them well behind the suggested field goal range marker for their kicker, who's had a terrible season. And here's the key. Already missed one. Already missed an extra point. And almost missed another one. Hit the upright, bounced in. So you can say whatever you need to say about the defensive failures, and there are many. None of them lost us that game yesterday. None of them. Those issues still remain a footnote beyond yesterday's game. Say what you need to say. It doesn't matter. That's the point. They were always going to score 30 points on us. We all knew that. That's literally their average against us. 3 different defensive coordinators. Arguably 4 different defensive coordinators. 2 different defensive schemes, the 3-4, and now we've switched to the 4-3. 2 overhauled defensive rosters. And Buffalo still averages 30 points a game on us. So for anybody acting like they didn't know that's what was going to happen and wants to blame the defense for losing yesterday, you're entitled to your opinion, but I'm entitled to say I believe it's wrong. And you know what? If people want to insult me like they have been all day, then go ahead. You're just following the Tua Hall of Fame brigade, which is out in full swing today. Give them credit. They're happy. Ooh, their boy elevated us to mediocrity. Wow. Clap, clap, clap. I'm going to do a curtsy. Let's turn the music up for them. Best game of his career. Best game of his career. Even I agree with that. Let's fire it up for Tua's best game of his career. We've got a little better guitar in the background. It's a little more Mano Chao-ish. Almost a little more like Ziggy. Shout out to the Tua Hall of Fame brigade. Hit the like button for the Tua Hall of Fame brigade. Yeah, we're having a party this afternoon. It's Monday. Gotta make people feel good somehow, you know. Because, Scar, sometimes somebody's best ain't good enough. Yep, that's what I said. I said it. Hit the like button. Sometimes somebody's best just ain't good enough. What world are we living in if we don't understand that? And the guy that backed all that up last week couldn't run the ball on 2nd and 12. I was hoping so, Jay Miami. Good to see you. Fire it up, bro. It's over. Call Drew. I don't know what else to do. Drew thinks we're buyers. So y'all have been waiting so patiently. And I think you figured it out. Throw it up in chat if you think you know who it is that may have saved the Dolphins' future. The one guy that is responsible for the Dolphins losing yesterday. The one guy who had control of the game in his hands the whole game. Let me give you a hint. George Carlin once said, "Every time I drive, I put my life in my foot's hands." This guy had control of the game in his hands for almost the entire game. Who do you think it is? Damn, no guesses, huh? And not for the reasons you might think. Because not only did he win the game yesterday, but he might have saved the Dolphins' future. Marino. Joe says Marino. That's hilarious, man. Let's see what this one sounds like. This is Kaiprintha in Hawaii. Let's give this one a shot. Oh yeah, chill. This is kind of Jimmy Buffett-ish. Poyer? AC says Poyer. And says Sean from Red, White, and Bill says McDermott. I figured he'd say him. Who do you think, Nene? I see you in chat. What's up, Nene? Who do you think the one man responsible for the Dolphins' loss yesterday and saving our future? Y'all ready? Boom! Somebody watches the show. I got a regular chiming in. He never chats very much. Came in just to give the correct answer. Look at that. Boxing Bill. See, Boxing Bill listens to me. He understands color. Boxing Bill ain't got no potatoes in his ears. Congratulations, Boxing Bill. You got it. Tyler Bath. The one man that had control of almost the entire game in his foot. You might think, oh, what are you talking about? I'm not even talking about the 61-yard kick. That's right. I'm not even talking about the 61-yard kick. Let me turn the music off so you can hear me clearly. I'm not even talking about the 61-yard kick. I'm talking about the exposure and the light that it shines on the fact that our offense can't score enough points to beat the Buffalo Bills. Period. End of story for that game yesterday. I don't care what y'all want to say about the defense. I will stand on this square to the day I die. Our offense cannot score enough points to beat Buffalo. Our offense is not good enough to keep control of a game against Buffalo. Our offense is not good enough to keep it out of the hands of our defense against Buffalo. You're right, Lou. And that's why the offense should not have left it in their hands. Checkmate. You know why? You know how I know this? Because of one man, Tyler Bass. Guess what, guys? You're right, Lou. Ain't arguing that. You're absolutely right. Did you notice how we tied the game at the minute something mark? We noticed that? I remember Tyler Bass earlier in the game missing an extra point. So tell me what the score is if we score that touchdown right there. If Tyler Bass hit that extra point earlier in the game. So before Tyler Bass kicked the 61-yarder, tell me what the score would have been if he did not miss that extra point earlier in the game. And because I'm able to say that, we can argue whether that mattered or not, which we will. Everybody will. Okay. We can argue all that. Okay. And we will. But Tyler Bass made that argument possible. And that argument is going to shed so much light on what our problems are as a team and an organization that it may have just saved this team in this future. Because I am not giving in. A footnote. It still remains a footnote. And I stand on that square to the day I die. What's up, Cap? I'm glad you came.
Nothing.
I'm glad you came up right after I was able to get everything I needed to out, man, for my monologue.
I think I figured it out. I gotta give you your minute to cook. I seen Fins Up Winsy.
Oh yeah,
in the chat. What?
Yeah,
I
he's
ain't
been
seen
coming
Fins Up
around.
Winsy in a minute. What the homie. And Joe Wrist, which we know Joe. Joe's all over the place.
And level 2 noob. I don't blame Jesus. I blame Jesus' his left arm.
the right arm we can count on. It's that left one that keeps letting us down.
Look, Barry Jackson came out saying, look, yesterday made a statement at the very least. Whether you want to say Tua made a case to be part of it, that's fine. Okay. I don't plan to make that case. But Barry Jackson made a great case, and the case I've been making all season, because I'm glad for one thing yesterday that the guys were able to do. They played with so much heart, bro. They didn't quit. Okay. And not 46 of the 46 men on that sideline quit yesterday.
Well, Culler, here's the thing, right? And I would be proud of that, and I am in some aspect, right?
Wait a minute, Cap, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let me land real quick, bro. So Barry Jackson said there is no reason. What we saw yesterday demonstrates that there is no reason to blow this roster up, dude. And I agree with him. Go ahead, bro. Did I lose him?
No, I'm still here.
There you go.
Look. Sorry, I'm just poking my head in here and see what's going on. I agree that, in any other season, that type of game against the Bills, we could feel respectable, right? Especially with the team that took some time to get going this season, not packing it in. But the reality is still it is what it is. This team was behind the sticks and could ill afford that a loss at any moment. And yes, the defense it came up short, but I mean, I don't know, man. Look, how much blame am I putting on the defense that I knew wasn't gonna be the defense was never my hopes for postseason success. Not with a new DC, not with injuries across the board, and not with the question marks I had at defense. Yeah, we got Jalen Phillips at the start of the season, but that wasn't really our plan all off season. We thought we weren't going to have him for weeks, and now we don't have him at all. So it's kind of right where we were. Bradley Chubb not playing. We knew he wasn't going to be playing. Chop Robinson, a rookie, we knew not to have high expectations for him. Jalen Ramsey,
bro.
Cater Kohu being out in a game, but that's just a 1-game sample size. I'm just talking about.
No. But what I'm saying is, but Buffalo is smart enough to know Cater Kohu. Buffalo don't care what our fans think about our defense and shit. You know what I mean? Josh Allen knew that Cater Kohu, what kind of impact and what his missing would allow Josh Allen to exploit, and he exploited it. And they got a 70-some yard touchdown run from a guy that clearly would have been taken down right there by Cater Kohu, and we all know it. We all know it. We're going to act like Cater Kohu wouldn't have sealed that edge and got that guy to the ground.
So, again, and yes, but did any Dolphins...
Yet we still held them to 30 points. Yet we still held them to enough points for our offense to be expected to score more than that, given the opportunities that they squandered all day. How are we doing this again, bro? How do we let them back in, Capitan?
Well, I was just in a space before I got over here because I'm still in a loud environment, so I don't want to hop on YouTube right away. And, it's an argument I'm having. It's because I don't think people understand. We're trying to hold an equal amount of expectations for the offense and defense when all of everything that I can see is that I have to hold the offense to a higher expectation because
they know the play.
I'm talking about our offense versus our defense and where my expectations of what's going to win me football games on Sunday. It's supposed to be the offense. And if you're going to go up and ask the defense to hold the number 3 offense in the league to a drive to not score on, that's poor offensive planning, time management, and just execution in the game plan as a total football team.
But Cap, here's the two-dimensionality of our fan base right here. LOL, Cater Kohu got demolished by Diggs last year. Diggs is a wide receiver catching balls against him. I'm talking about getting a running back around his corner down to the ground before he gets 70-yard touchdown on us.
Again,
show me the tape where Cater Kohu let that happen before.
If you're taking a 5-year sample size of some of the best wide receivers, Diggs would be in the top 5 of that ranking.
Bro, it don't even matter. We're talking about two different things here.
I got you, Culler, but I don't even need to argue the right argument while they're changing it. I can beat them at their own. If you're asking an undrafted free agent Cater Kohu slot receiver to lock down one of the best wide receivers in the game, and I don't know what to tell you. Like, again, and I used this example earlier. Everyone wants to measure with the same measuring cup as if it's the same thing we're measuring all the time. If I'm measuring water and sand in the same cup, you have to take into account the weight. You have
Yeah,
to take into account the weight, and they're not. They're thinking
and,
everything's measured in a binary sense, and it's not. It's a
and, I,
little bit more nuanced than that, but people don't want to have the same expectations.
and
If
here's
I'm
the
a Bills fan and I see my top number one wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, lining up against a undrafted free agent rookie or a second-year guy that
that's so
comes
off.
from a small school, my
You're
expectation is that Diggs is going to win that matchup
Bro, you're
more than not.
feeding right into the Mott and Bailey. The guy set up a Mott for you, and you're attacking it instead of attacking the Bailey, dude, or vice versa. What you're feeding right in. The guy is saying that I'm making a real huge leap, assuming Kohu is going to be there and make that tackle, bro. Dolphin dystopia. With all due respect, I you can watch my previous game calls. I help Cap commentate the game on Sundays every week for the last 2.5 years. You're not going to tell me there isn't evidence that Kohu is the best tackler on our team.
Oh no, Kohu is probably. I'll tell you what. In the open field, one-on-one, Kohu is the best tackler on our team.
There's no way that 70-yard run happens like that from the flat with Kohu there. Are you kidding me? What do you mean real huge leap? I guess people miss that one when they're slugging it down. I don't know.
We're not saying he's saying Marcus May missed the tackle. I watched the games too. We know who missed it. We're saying why the tackle wasn't made because Kohu wasn't there.
Marcus May wasn't even in a position. He was reaching from the sideline to touch the guy. Kader Kohu would be squaring up with him and taking him to the ground, at least making it enough for the guys to swarm. Get out of here with that. Tell me I don't know Kader Kohu.
No, he's saying that the slot corner wouldn't have been there. It would have been the safety all along, and that would have always happened. Okay, that's debatable, right?
Okay, so how's that the players? I mean, I don't know what you're trying to say anyway. The fact of it is, we're missing our top tackler. Thank you, Ms. Relentless.
Welcome to the family, Miss Relentless. Enjoy the emotion. Enjoy the emotion.
The roller coaster.
There's all kinds of them.
And that's where I'm just, again, you got to pay for me to read that comment level too. I'm just done with that kind of nonsense, dude. Troll somewhere else, man.
So I would say this to this point, Dolphin Dystopia is saying the D got shredded in the fourth quarter. Offense answered every time. And I would say
every time, huh?
Every time.
That's the kind of shit I'm talking about right there. Every time. Twice, bro. They answered twice. Hallelujah. Yo, let's strike up the music again, Cap. Hallelujah. The offense supported the defense twice in a single game, bro. Strike it.
Hell yeah, so let's strike that music.
Party. I ain't buying that shit anymore. Just ain't.
You know, I want an offense that can close out a game and not say, hey, defense, we put up 30 points. Don't let them score. When the defense, as good as they've been, you're still asking them to hold Josh Allen in the number 3 offense in the NFL. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, did they not see? I mean, God.
Hey, Dolphin Dystopia, don't take it anyway, dog. We're just going back and forth, bro. No, don't worry.
I'm attacking the argument, not the person.
Yeah, we're not attacking you, bud. Again,
Not
you can be mad at
anyway.
the defense. I wish the defense would have won that game too, buddy. We're just pissed because honestly,
I get it. In years past, we do have that defense. I mean, what can I say?
Well, and again, even if the defense came up short, and we can look at it objectively, and at that fact, we could appreciate the fact that the team played as well as they did and didn't hang their heads and fought as hard as they did. Problem is the offense has been so terrible all season that we're so far behind the eight ball we can't even afford anybody any luxuries anymore.
Right. And you know what? Here's the thing. If you guys want to argue, the argument is not with me, okay? Because McDaniel told you all when he walked in this building that 21.8 points per game our defense was giving up
Culler,
was
I
going to
think
go up
Gameboy's
a couple
talking
points.
to me right now.
What's that?
I think Gameboy's talking to me right here. Is that Cap for life or me Cap?
Oh, I don't know.
I am calling people stupid. That's right.
I don't know, but I'm not trying to. I'm not. People are gonna have to pay to say that shit now, bro. I ain't all about reading that.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
The guy completely derailed the point I was trying to drive home, man.
Well, go ahead.
You know what I mean?
Drive the point home because
I forgot what it is now.
Oh, I got something.
I hope it got recorded, so I know people will be able to hear it. But
so here's my
I'd rather read somebody like a member's comment like KP who says, "Yo, Culler, am I the only one disgusted with Tua's self-congratulatory post-game press conference?"
Or KP's.
And no, you're not, KP. It almost Cat for Life came up here last night playing it on his phone, and I had to mute him because it almost made me throw up. And then when I tried to play it today before the show to watch it, it almost made me puke again. So no, I can't. I didn't watch it. All right, Cap, you wanted to comment on KP's other comment there?
Yeah, this is kind of what I'm getting at. He's saying Tua and ears are going nuts over that Alex Smith-like performance. Listen, I could say Tua played a very good football game, outside of the muff snap and stuff like that. But I gotta hold him as one of the top paid quarterbacks in the NFL to a higher standard. Because when you pay top paid
we'd have a better defense.
They got it, and this is it, right? When Dolphin fans want to pile on the defense and the people who have been hiding since
Glad
today.
you're going here because you're circling back to the point that I forgot.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
people who've been hiding since pretty much today to shit on the defense because there's a lot of them out there. They've had their heads in the sand. They're quiet. They ain't in chat. They're not online. They're not on their creator shows. They're not making their TikToks and all their bullshit. They are now showing up because they can blame the defense and not blame the offense in a good performance from the offense. Not good enough, but good compared to what we've been seeing. And it sickens me because
Good
all
if you
you
like
guys
watching
are doing,
if you like we're watching tricycle tricks.
exactly. And here's the thing, right? The problem is that I'm trying to get us out of this situation. You guys don't seem to realize you're paving the way for this to be us in 2025 as well. That's the problem. That's the problem. And yeah, Game Boy, I admitted in the space I didn't watch the game because you know what? I had better things to do. I had to go win my own fucking football games coaching in with my boy. We had to go win a championship, something the Dolphins don't know shit about.
Yeah.
Or you guys Dolphin fans. Y'all don't know what coaching and how to fucking play the game and the nuances. You guys get bogged down in the nonsense, like blaming the defense as if the defense just cost us the season when we shouldn't even be in this situation with the type of offense that they're telling me by the fucking paychecks.
Again, I'm even willing to concede it. Go ahead and say the defense lost us the game yesterday. Now explain to me why we're 7-11 since Germany. Go ahead. I'll wait.
No, level 2. He wasn't playing. He was coaching alongside with us. Yes, Cater Kohu and the Kohu family are really close with us.
Oh, he's claiming Cater. I don't even know why I'm repeating it, but he's claiming Cater faked an injury. But watch him go shit on other people that claim Tua fakes them.
I don't know.
That's why I ain't trying to feed into his bullshit today, dude. I'm trying to have a happy day.
I don't think you should.
He wants
Color.
to shit on us because he thinks that Stephen D is going to rise out of the ashes one day.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm sorry, dude. I can't play the hopeful fucking, uh, uh, you know, error on the peace, love, and bullshit. I'm not there for that. I call it how it is. And although you guys want to blame the defense on a single day, I said this take in that space. The defense might be the reason we lost that game yesterday. The offense is the reason why we're losers this season.
I'll say it the same. I'll keep the same energy I've always kept. The team lost the game, and the offense didn't win it. How hard is it to understand that?
I don't know, Color. You're talking to a bunch of dumbasses who obviously love a shitty football
Your
organization.
defense cannot win a game unless it outright scores. It's called defense for a reason. Go to Merriam-Webster's dictionary and look up the word defend.
Preach, Color. Tell these fucking dumbasses. They're a bunch of idiots, Color. All of them they're dumb. I don't know how to explain it to them, man. I don't. I can't. I don't get it. I don't. Again, they want to measure the defense's expectations versus the offense's expectations. It's just,
Do we even have a kicker that's ever kicked over 60 yards? Oh, maybe once. Maybe Dan Carpenter.
That's right, Color. The defense holding him to a 61-yarder. They could have just held him to a 62-yarder, and maybe things would have been different.
Oh, yeah, one less yard. And yeah, because that wouldn't have been good from 70.
Well, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Maybe
forget the fact that
maybe if Mike McDaniel, the offensive guru, would have iced him.
Cap, they're literally trying to argue against the standard. Whether you believe it makes a difference or not, they're literally trying to argue against the standard of calling a timeout right there and icing the kicker.
Well, because you know what the Dolphins really didn't want, and what these guys know that was the reality, is that if he would have iced the kicker and we would have went to overtime, we could have watched the Dolphins offense get the ball, not score, and then lose to a field goal anyhow, and they would have blamed the fucking defense. They'd have blamed the defense again. It's always going to be the defense's fault unless when Tua's on the field. When he's not, these people are nowhere to be found. They're cucks. They're fucking morons.
Well, we're going to get to McDaniel's press conference from today because he says something interesting about, they asked him about why he didn't ice the kicker. And his reason was nothing what they're claiming online.
Well, they're going to then
what I'm saying, hold on. What they're saying online, they're actually coming up with weird excuses as to why you wouldn't just do what every other team does and ice the kicker. Oh, what happens if he misses it and then on the second attempt he makes it? Shit like that. Do you think that was McDaniel's answer when they asked him?
No.
I know it wasn't. McDaniel's answer was he was busy getting a next play going in case they missed it, and we had 10 seconds to work with on the 49-yard line.
That was his that's what he said?
That is literally what he said.
So, Color, he's worried about winning the game after, while the Bills are worried about. Hold on. Let me gather my thoughts here.
That's a good point, level two, dude.
Right now.
Although his body
he's worried about the counter punch rather than worried about defending the game at the moment.
Not only that, Cap, what do you mean? It's an outright fallacy, bro. Think about it. It's a contradiction. When you ice the kicker, what do you do?
I don't know.
How do you ice a kicker?
You take a timeout.
Right. So a 30-second timeout is not enough to get ready for the next play in case they miss the kick?
Even so, right? Like,
whoa.
Say they missed that kick. Mike McDaniel thought that he was going to be able to march down the field.
Cap, there is no even so because it falls on its face as an excuse. He was in a hurry. He was frazzled. He was trying to get the next play in case they missed it. That's reason to call a timeout, not just icing the kicker.
I'm guessing that's Shatave. Yeah. Are we? Is Mike McDaniel admitting to being in the friggin' iPad while the team we're going against is about to the game winning field goal?
Even though the timeout itself would have given the time he needed to get organized for a counterpunch.
Well, hold on, Color. I just want to point out how Mike McDaniel believed the same thing we all believed, and that the defense did a good job to hold them to a 61-yarder that they couldn't make.
Exactly.
And that he was preparing. So here it is, the defense doing their job to an extent. See how I got them now, Color? See how I got their necks up against? See how I got these motherfuckers now? You see how I got them now? These fucking idiots.
This is why it's always nice to fire up the reggae and talk everything out instead of just jumping off a cliff with the narrative and rolling with it. See, now Lewis I can respect because Lewis has been calling out the problems on the defense for weeks.
Oh, I don't know about that, Color. Lewis is
but he's also still off of Tua.
I know Lou. Look,
he's not. What I'm saying is we can respect that he's not trying to make excuses for Tua, is what I'm saying.
I agree. And Lou, by his own admission, tries to remain.
He might be wrong, but he's not making excuses for Tua.
Moment by moment, day by day, week by week, critical of the issue at hand. And I'm telling him, and I told him when I just talked to him, he doesn't realize all he's doing is mowing down these trees and paving a pathway to mediocrity with excuses.
What's my agenda, Game Boy? What would a good friend of mine see as my agenda? See, Lewis knows. So if he thought I had an agenda at all, we'd have been talking about it on the phone. So you're inserting yourself as if you know something about people's relationship that you don't have a fucking clue about. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'd suggest you stop making a fool out of yourself, okay?
Fucking Game Boy. God,
dude. And to say that Lewis is against my agenda, that suggests that Lewis has an agenda. Okay? You're accusing Lewis of being disingenuous about his opinion on the defense.
See how that works? Shoes on the other foot now, Game Boy. More like Game Bitch. Sorry, Game Boy. I didn't mean to call you bitch like that.
Keep hanging in the space thinking that you got clout because people bounce me and they don't bounce you.
Yeah, with your fake ass clout.
Like Mystic today's at it again, Cat. Trying to put the struggle session on me. The typical Tua struggle session where they where they post funny memes in answer to your points. You know what I mean? I've been clowning them all day. They've been talking about nobody should say Tua is the reason for the loss yesterday. So I'm feeding right in saying, yeah, Tua is the reason for the loss. I said it. What now?
Yeah.
And they don't understand. They don't understand.
We're losers. That's what it is.
Wait, Cap, what they don't understand is that I don't actually have that opinion. Okay. What I'm doing by answering their call is by saying, yeah, I said it. What now? See, what I'm trying to do is, and it effectively worked, was triggering them into being their little freaking Marxist freaking commie asses trying to control everybody's thoughts.
Oh, get them, Color. Get them, Color.
Okay.
Bunch of fucking bitches.
So, like clockwork, okay? A couple of them feed in, and one of them starts I'm going to answer that with a meme that makes fun of you. And the other one tried this is why this guy has no credibility. As if I want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't wait to have credibility amongst a bunch of fucking morons.
Right, so they fed right in simply because they said that nobody's allowed to say it. So I said it. And that was my only intention. I wasn't even giving my true opinion. I simply was exposing them for what they truly are, bro. A bunch of thought police. That's what Twitter is, bro. It's thought jail.
A bunch. You know what it is?
It's a
why
re-education
Twitter?
camp.
Hold on.
It's a
You know why?
re-education camp is what it is.
No, you know why Twitter is
Tries to
measured
be.
in how many followers you have? Because that's all that's there. A bunch of fucking followers.
And they
There's
think they
no
have
real
consensus.
leadership. It's just a
They
bunch
think
of
they have
fucking nerd
consensus.
followers, bro.
They think they have consensus because a bunch of sex bots followed them.
That's right. Just because you guys are, they're heard because there's 400 people following them.
No, some of them have thousands. That's what's funny about it. It's like, how'd you ever get thousands of followers acting like that to people? That's what I can't figure out.
If you look at it, you'll see that they're there since 2012 or some shit. At that point, you're averaging like 600 a year.
Now, real quick, because I know Lewis wants to make the statement.
Sorry, I just was laughing because Bryson was like, not sex bots.
I know Lewis wants me to read this so that it is publicly known, and I appreciate that, Lewis. But just to know that you don't have to say none of this to me, bro. But I'm gonna go ahead and read it so that it's for public consumption. Lewis says, "I don't believe Culler or Cap has an agenda. I just disagree with their opinion on the issue of yesterday's game." Exactly. You know, like I can say you're wrong without saying you're against my agenda, or I have some kind of other. It's likewise you. I don't think you have an agenda either. You just simply have an opinion that, my opinion, is wrong. And your opinion is that I'm wrong. It's these other idiots, Lou, that try to make it about whose agenda and who's got an agenda against who and shit. You know what I mean? And they all think because they don't get bounced all day like I do on Twitter, that they got your favor or something, that they figured out that you're against me and all this other stuff. It's like, okay, let's play the role. You know, Lou, I'm willing. You know how I am. We've talked about it on the phone.
Yeah, Lou knows the game.
I'll be that guy. You know,
Lou knows the game. They see Lou muting me 10 times in a row.
Right.
And they think, oh shit, they're gonna be fighting. They're fighting right now. Again, you want to know the agenda? The agenda is to educate you fucking idiots. That's the agenda. So hopefully I get a smart enough fan base. So I hope I get surrounded by enough smart enough people to not let this fucking bullshit be perpetrated on us again and again and again.
I mean, hey. And I absolutely love, no matter how much I disagree with things that are said on the Blitz pickup, I love watching it because it's real. Okay? The guy could be out there saying he believes the sky is green, but I know it's from his heart. Okay? That's all it's about. And ironically, a guy that maybe has rubbed wrong with me and back and forth personally, I actually agree with his takes more over there. So everybody's got to act like they know what's going on in everybody's personal lives. You know what I mean? Because of what they see, because of our football takes. You know, it's crazy. Like there ain't no agenda other than to tell you how I feel or how I see things. People are like, Culler, you're in your fields. Yeah. You know why? Because nobody pays me to be in my fields. Everybody else is in their fields too, like the journalists, quasi so-called. All of them are in their fields too, but they get paid.
So
I don't see nobody attacking any of them for being in their fields.
Few things. First off, shout out to Winters in chat. What's up, Winters?
What's up, Winters?
I see you, brother. Second, to answer Marketeer's question, I don't really know, right? Like, if the Dolphins lose 8 more games, the same way they just lost to the Bills, like, there's a case to be made that Mike McDaniel at least is, I don't know. Again, that's such a loaded question because I don't know if you can get rid of Tua and keep Mike McDaniel. I don't know if you can get rid of Mike McDaniel and keep Tua, right?
Hey, Cap, I forgot to share the link in the group text I hope Lou ain't been wanting to try to come up.
Oh no, I'm sure he would have texted for it. You know how Luke is. And then I also want to address this comment from Aaron Jones. I'm guessing that's not the Green Bay running back. TFTG thinks it's cool to call viewers stupid. Do they think the channel will grow doing this? So, been calling motherfuckers stupid since day one. It's grown just
Wait, who
fine.
asked that? Oh, Aaron Jones. Oh my God! Many times have you called me stupid, Aaron? Come on, man.
Exactly. First of all, if calling you stupid makes you not want to watch or subscribe, or it gets you in your fragility and your little vajayjay, that's on you, dog.
And I think most people know that I would call myself stupid, so it's not like, you know what I mean. Most of our audience knows that's in jest, bro. Come on, man. Like, read the room, bro.
Again, right? Like, if I'm hurling insults out into the ether and you guys think it's directed at you, then probably is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I'm
wait,
hurling
what's
them out
Nene
there. If you
always
want to
say?
jump in front of them
Hey,
and
wait,
be offended,
what
then I meant it
what
for you, you bitch.
what does Nene and EM always say?
I don't know what.
A hit dog, a holler.
Oh yeah, hit dog or holler. Yeah, that's true. And again, if you wanna jump in front of my insults and feel offended, then good. Quit being a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Besides, you know what? We're
That's
all
right.
sitting
I'm
here.
talking to you.
Hey, we're all sitting here at 4 something in the afternoon watching some amateur like me talk about the Dolphins while a bunch of other lay people sit here and argue about it in chat. Seems like we're all freaking stupid, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Not me, Culler. Not me. I refuse to be lumped in there with what I deem to see as stupid versus to what I am. I'll live in my own delusions and comfortably. Thank you.
How fun. Joe Riss, member for 17 months, using his member chat this month to say Aaron moans.
Yep, Aaron Bones.
By the way, Aaron Jones had a good day yesterday running the ball.
Raph, see, Raph. I don't know if I don't know if I can call that stupid. Gross. I don't know if we can call it stupid. Now, if you're doing that in public, stupid.
Oh, we going with the toxicity thing, huh? Game Boy, you sit on Twitter, bro, in Twitter Spaces, and you're talking about us
Listen,
being
I know.
toxic.
I see Game Boy
Hey,
out
yo,
on Twitter.
this is
I
like
see
back in
Game
the.
Boys on
Wait a
Twitter and
minute,
on these fucking YouTube
Cap.
places. That bitch is just as toxic as everybody else.
I know, Cap. This
Shut
reminds
the
me of
fuck up.
Cap. This reminds me of 3 years ago when all the Twitter folk would call us all toxic while they're over there like having struggle sessions and shit. You know what I mean?
Having struggle sessions and literally trying to find people through the internet in real life to run them up off the internet.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know what? I welcome anyone on the internet that wants to come and find me, look up my background, then come see me,
By
pussy
the
boy.
way,
You
Game
ain't
Boy,
doing the motherfucking thing. Because on
and by
this
the way,
app, on the other apps, and real life, I will sling your lifeless body around and make you my bitch like I do the rest. Thank you.
And by the way, Game Boy, your LMAO tells me that despite all the things I said earlier about you, I still maintain a level of respect for you.
Oh no, Game Boy's hanging in the pocket for the shit
Like
time.
you can
That's why he's here.
self-deprecate too.
Say what he wants.
Good
That motherfucker loves it, bro. He loves the shit.
If anybody wants to learn how to self-deprecate, if you have that problem where you just can't insult yourself, move to Missouri for 10 years and you'll be fine. You'll learn it. Because then people do nothing but shit on themselves all day, man. Like
Damn, right.
Missouri,
Come here, try to fucking
like
kiss him up.
wait a minute. Missourians jump over each other to insult themselves. What's Bryson saying?
Look, Bryson's saying he gonna come find me in real life and kiss me. What about that, bitch? Basically.
Nah, Bryson, everybody knows you want to plant one right on my lips, man. Everybody knows it. kind of gross.
They self-defecate there too.
God, man. No, that's San Francisco, bro. Get it right. That's not St. Louis.
Damn, not shitting themselves. What the fuck, dude?
That's San Francisco, bro. You got the wrong city. That's the other San. That's not San Louis. That's San Francisco.
Football IQ here. It's so funny, Aaron, because if you can't understand that this is the closest thing to a fucking locker room, tells me everything I need to know about you never playing a sport in your fucking weak ass life, dude.
Well,
That's it.
Yep. And I figured, Lewis,
I for all those that are like, this is that. Y'all would never be a part of a team because we would have bitched you up in the locker room. We didn't have to worry about you.
Yeah, Jonathan Martin. We would have Jonathan Martin'd your ass.
Only trying to make him better, make him learn that he don't belong here. One or the other. I don't give a fuck.
So, Lewis, I figured I'd probably get to that footnote around Thursday, maybe. I'll probably get around to talking about the defense yesterday.
Lou wants to get shitty.
Lou wants to smoke, man. I know. Lou wants the defense smoke,
trying to
man.
get me and you to
but I don't have an argument, dude. I don't have an argument. Because, yeah, we gave up some shit yesterday.
I got a motherfucking argument. I got one, goddammit. Defense holding them to a 61-yarder is so good that the head coach thought so. Wasn't even thinking about him making it.
I know, right?
Thought it was a long shot. He wasn't taking a timeout because he thought, hey, I got another down to live. The defense did their job.
I forgot. We finished that meal. I forgot, Lou, the cap that we just cooked Lou on that one.
Hey, Lou, you cook now, motherfucker. I didn't even realize I needed it. I was left
we cooked the whole narrative.
One bullet left in the chamber. Took it out, dog.
Yep, we cooked the whole narrative in one shot.
You gotta drop the link. You gotta drop the link for Lou. Lou thinks he's gonna talk his way out of some bullshit.
Yo, McDaniel. Well, I'm gonna put it in. Do you mind if I send it to you in the group text, Lewis? Because I want to get to the presser before, and I wasn't really planning on doing an open panel, because I know everybody's gonna click it as soon as I drop it, unless Cap wants to monitor it.
First of all, basketball is my least good sport. But I will cross your bitch ass up, Aaron, and hit threes on you so badly. You ain't got shit, dog. I will hit you from the boundary and the threes. And if you're coming down in the box, I'm going to fucking G-check you up out of there. Because ain't nobody running down the lane on my motherfucking ass.
I won't. I won't. I suck at basketball. I know my limits. Don't rely on me for nothing.
Basketball ain't my strong suit, but I'm a motherfucking athlete. Ain't nobody taking me. I don't give a fuck if it's table tennis, bitch. I get it going. Once I get hot, you done. I don't give a fuck what sport it is. It could be ring toss. It could be fucking table tennis.
I'm far better. I'm far better. Cap, I'm far better at shuffleboard than I am freaking basketball. I'll tell you that much right now, man. I'm gonna be honest. I got no leg. I can't stand on the court, dude. I suck, man. I don't know. I can't even make layups, bro. I mean, I suck, man. I just don't get the whole thing, bro.
Hey, Lou, you hear these hoes in chat talking like they got some athleticism up in this bitch? Who these motherfuckers think they are, dog?
Hey, I'm going to leave the chat alone, right? And I just want to come out and say, nothing that I'm about to say changes my opinion of where this team should go moving forward. And especially with the quarterback. I've been out here and one of the only people saying with Tua's return, even if this return was an undefeated return and a Super Bowl victory, I would shake Tua's hand after the Super Bowl, say thank you for your 5 years of service, and I would still be moving off of him. I want to start off by saying that, right? So again, that my opinion doesn't change. But this is where the argument I'm talking about yesterday, right? Watching the game. And me and bro, I hopped up twice. In both scenarios when it happened, when Culler did a great job calling the game yesterday, by the way. For the people that don't know, go back and watch. This is what I appreciate about Culler, but this is where I believe I just disagree with the tape. Because every time the defense shows up, my good buddy Culler comes out and says, the offense needs to reward the defense for what the defense just did. And every time my good friend says that, I'm like, God damn it, Culler, you're right. Keep preaching. So yesterday when I'm watching the game and the interception happens on the defense, great play by Jalen Ramsey, right? I never would have thought from what I've seen this season that the offense was going to put a 97-yard touchdown drive together, but that's what they did. I never thought that when the Buffalo Bills went up 27-20, that offense was going to come right back out, right? The defense was struggling. They gave up a touchdown. When now we're down 7, I would have never thought that offense, the very next drive would have said, you know what? To get our team back in it, I'm going to go match that 7, and I'm going to match you with 7. So from that perspective alone.
And that's a credit to them. That's a credit to them.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing. Just because we can credit them for that doesn't absolve McDaniel of burning more time on that drive and giving his defense a better chance. It's still
and I just want to say this to point, Lou.
I don't know. No.
That may be a step forward from the step back we took this season, but it's not a step forward from last season into this season. Meaning that we haven't. All we did was get back to what we were. Now that's 97-yarder. I loved it, right? I did, and I'm happy that the team, showed up for the defense. But my expectations are different than defense in anything because of paying a quarterback mainly, paying the offensive guru mainly, re-extending Tyreek Hill and extending Waddle. Those things tell me that they anticipated the offense was not going to take a step back and needing to take a step up to where they were, but taking a step
1000%.
forward in a direction that was going to get us to beat the likes of the Buffalo Bills in a game like that, where the defense, I don't hold out much hope for competing week in and week out, right? Versus my offense.
No. Well, again, that's fine, right? And I hear you in the overall macro when you're saying we paid all these guys. Cool. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about for me yesterday. See, this is where we got to hold people's feet to the fire, right? Because if all I've been told for the past 2 to 3 weeks is that the defense is the number one defense against the pass. When I hear for the past 2 or 3 weeks that the defense is number one on third down getting off the field, all I know is yesterday when these situations happened and the majority in the second half where Buffalo did not punt one time, they scored on every possession in the second half. They gave up 24. The fact of the matter is, why was Miami's defense getting off the field in the first half?
Right? Because I mean, do I really have to answer
second
that?
Half adjustments on offense.
Wait a minute. Forget the adjustments. I mean, what is Gatorade like cocaine now or something?
No. But I would say they executed the game plan better in the first half than they did the second, right? It comes back to the execution.
But again, see, you're right about them paying off the defense. I was saying that in the paradigm of we were doing everything else we needed to do, and where we were coming up short was not cashing in it when the defense gave us those extra possessions. Okay, yesterday we cashed in on those extra possessions, but none of the other ones.
Well, again, listen.
We held them to punt. We held them to a punt on their opening scripted drive, Lewis, and we answered that with a field goal on our opening scripted drive.
And again, but that's points though. That's 3 points better than what Buffalo did.
Of course, it's 3 points better. It's something, sure.
Again.
But the game was lost by 3 points, dude.
What do you say to Mike McDaniel not icing the kicker because he felt the defense did enough to win that game by holding him to a 61-yarder?
Well, I would say again, this is what I tried to tell you in the space, Cap. Right. The fact of the matter is, we're just bearing it down to the last drive of the game. If you were to tell me that the Buffalo Bills offense only touched the ball on that last drive, then yes, the defense did their job by holding them a 61-yarder. The facts remain. I think the Bills had
We won
5
time of possession, Lewis.
and I get it, but that still doesn't change the fact that when the Bills were on the field, they scored in the second half, and they
Keller,
could
can
have
you
stopped
pull up
them
the
on any
numbers?
of
Can
those
you pull
other
up the
drives.
numbers, Keller?
You can pull up the numbers if you want. The fact of the
that
matter is they
second
didn't
half-
punt in the second half.
Can you
Not
pull up?
once.
I need some numbers here, Color. I need to know the turnover margin. I need to know the
I don't care
Wait
about
a minute
the
here.
I don't care about
Third
none of that.
quarter. They put up 14 points. We put up 3. And we had the ball to start the second half.
Absolutely. 1,000%. 1,000%.
so the defense should have done more.
But Lewis,
Again.
we didn't even have to match their
So it's the
14.
defense's
All you do
fault
is
because,
replace that 3 with a 7, and we
again,
win the
Color, they
game.
want to blame the defense because they didn't hold you to a 2-yard field goal.
Well, again, we could play this game if we want to. Earlier today, what I heard was 27 points is not enough. That's what I heard, right? Okay, cool.
It's not. It hasn't been the last 5 times we played them.
All I know, I watched a bunch of teams that scored under 27 points that won yesterday. And
none of them were playing the Buffalo Bills.
Well, it's funny you brought that up. When the Houston Texans, I believe, beat that same Buffalo Bill team, they were under 27 points. But they beat them.
Right? Because why? Right. Because Josh Allen had a tummy ache? Well, he didn't have a tummy ache yesterday.
No. I don't believe in tummy aches. The fact of the matter is their defense played better than ours. Period. It's okay to say that.
Okay. But again, pointing out that the Texans played better against them on defense than we did still does not mean that the defense lost us the game yesterday.
Well, the majority of the blame, if Crypto was here, since he loves the majority and percentages,
bro,
I would say my percentage would be higher.
Okay, fine. My percentage last week was 5. This week it's 10.
Well, see, this is where, for me, I can get you brought percentages. This is where I'm trying to go week by week, and I'm trying to keep it as objective as I can. Last week, Color, what did I say? If Tua Tagovailoa played quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, the Dolphins win that game. Did I not say that?
Correct.
Again, I said Kyler Murray was the Dolphins quarterback, we win. And just like I'm saying this week,
right.
in the retrospect, no, the defense is the one that let us down yesterday.
By your standard, by your standard, they've let us down every single game for the last 18 ball games.
That's exactly what I said, Color, because all he's measuring is the fact that we had less points on the board. That's all he's doing.
And that's fine. Well, then again, listen, we can play this game all we want. Then let's stop referencing this number 1 defense on third down in a
no. Okay, but see, you're using my words in a different way than I meant them, bro. You're using my words in a different way than I meant them.
You're not the only one that has said that, bro. I'm not.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. What I've heard was we can, again, and if we're gonna play the game, then I can't say that this defense is elite and what they're doing, getting their job done.
And you're right to say that. And I would agree with you there. That's where you and I are coming to the table right there, Lewis, and chomping down because I'm right there with you on that.
And that's all I'm saying. Okay, cool. So then we can move on. Again, I'm not saying I'm right or you're right or
exactly. Of course.
I'm just saying what it is.
And you're absolutely right because this is how it's done, people. We've gotten to a point of the middle of the table, and that's when it is time to move on. Am I right?
1,000%. I'm with you. Absolutely.
All I know is Lou thought he was coming up here and catching a body and Color to fucking put him back at the table. That's all I know.
When it comes to breaking down the nuanced, specific reasons our defense failed yesterday, I'll get to that around Thursday.
Well, I'm glad me and Culler were able to have this conversation because I had already killed Cat for the majority of the morning. So I don't want to come up here and do it again.
All I know is that.
See, I thought you were exposing. You were against my agenda, Lou. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Hey, they didn't realize they had the same agenda.
bro, again, I heard that dumbass shit too when I was listening earlier, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to come up. I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna let y'all have it. The fact of the matter is, though, again, Culler is a good friend of mine. Cap is a good friend of mine. This is a channel I will always represent and support. The fact of the matter is, the same thing that Culler said about the blitz pickup and the authenticity and the realness that we try to project is the same reason that I'm here now. Is because that's what they get. Again, do I agree with Culler all the time? No. And Cap for sure is a no. But at the end of the day, I know that they want the best for this football team, and they're going to keep however they feel, and that I can respect that. Whether I agree or disagree,
It's a no right now. It's a no right now.
But no,
heading into week one, 2025, you're gonna go, fuck Cap, you right, dog. We right back where we were. Telling you, dog.
Did you notice you got the magnifier, Capitan? I got the. Can I disagree with Culler? Yeah. Do I always agree with Culler? No. Do I for sure always agree with Cap? No. You got the for sure magnifier, bro. Damn.
Yeah. I'm just saying, bro. Listen, the TFTG clan, right? The group, the collective. We all like the word collective, right? So the TFTG collective does not have an agenda. They're just giving you their takes on how they see and feel about the football team.
I do have an agenda. I do have an agenda. Hit that goddamn like button, everybody, and vote in the damn poll, man. That's my agenda.
That's a goddamn fact. Well, again, I'm gonna jump up out of here. I appreciate you guys letting me up.
See you later, Lou. We'll tap in, but I'm gonna say this as Lou goes out. I'm gonna talk about the same agenda. My agenda is to rid this fan base of the casual dumbasses I gotta deal with to explain what real football is supposed to look like while they have no idea. When they're sitting here talking crazy only because they just now showing up for the first time in 2 months to blame the defense because a 61-yard field goal got loosened through. I got nothing for these people, bro.
Especially since we ain't even talking about that if the dude don't miss the extra point anyway. They wouldn't have had to drive to kick the field goal. They would have won by 1.
I don't have a PhD in the NFL. I got 1 more year of undergrad to catch up on to do that.
Besides the fact that just because we don't have a PhD, why does that mean that the person saying that has a PhD? Where's your PhD? It's so funny how they just come out and outright declare that our takes are stupid. You know what I mean? They just declare it. Hey, everybody, Culler's takes are stupid. You know?
Well, I would just say this. If you think the takes are stupid, it's because you're too simple to understand them. And I don't know how to help that. Like,
right, they might be too nuanced for you.
It might be
too nuanced for you.
You could come from bad stock, so you know what I'm saying? It could be a genetic thing, could be an educational system thing. It could be, your mom dropped you. I don't know. Like there's tons of things. I know that what I'm saying, I mean, it's sound and reasoning and understanding.
Logical. It's called rational.
It's logical and sound and reasoning, and it's made through not only a guesstimation like a lot of you guys are. It's more of wisdom and seeing things and lived experiences and understanding and critical thinking along with failure. That's how you get wisdom, is through failure. You guys, you idiots, you just don't know how to gain wisdom. You just continue to fail. It's like I don't know, stubbing your toe.
Dunning-Kruger slope.
Yeah, it's stubbing your toe and then thinking about stubbing your toe, and ultimately that causing you to stub your toe again and again. I don't know. It's yeah.
Well, the other thing too I wanted to point out earlier when I was trying to circle back to what I had forgotten. McDaniel came in the building, okay, and said, "Hey, y'all fans, that 21.8 points per game your defense have been giving up, expect that to go up." He told us all that. You know why? Because his badass was like, it don't matter anyway, because my offense is going to score 1 billion. Better put Waddle on your fantasy lineup. Where was all that talk? That came from the coach. And even though for a while last year our points per game went up to 23, 24, like he said it would. We're back down to 22.5 this year. One of the best quarterbacks in the league outperformed that by 7.5 points. And I could argue just on that one touchdown that he threw, that's your 7 points extra that we give up per game. It's that simple. Anything beyond that, yeah, we can say, defense failed. Sure they did. And our offense let them. The offense let them. I mean, I don't know how else to see it. If I see it wrong, then I'm wrong. We'll see what the owner thinks. We will see what the owner thinks. In the meantime, hit the like button. We're up to 70. Oh my God, we might actually make 100 today. In a very short amount of time, too. We're only at almost the 2-hour mark, and y'all are up to 70 likes already. Thanks a lot, everybody. We're at 157 voted on the poll. That's a large disparity. That's like 80-some people that haven't hit the like button that voted in the poll. Do you believe McD and Greer are honest to the fans? Yes, no, or Abe Lincoln would blush? 22% of you have said yes. 68% of you don't even believe what they say anyway. And 10% think Abe Lincoln would blush. Now, this is, do you believe them when they talk about, or are they being honest when they talk about seriously being buyers at or continuing to try to recover this season and all in on it like McDaniel suggests? Lance says, if you have a great QB, it doesn't matter how bad the D is. Hurricanes. Yeah, well, that may prove to be not true, Lance, depending on the quality of opponent we face going forward. So be careful saying that. Sure, Game Boy. That's why I respect you. It's all talking, bro. It's all discussing. Yeah, absolutely. That's my agenda. Discussion, discourse. That's all my agenda is. I won't drop the link because you guys don't respect it, CB83. You don't respect the host when I host a panel. So that's why I'm not dropping the link until I have the energy to do it. And right now, after yesterday, I don't have the energy. You know, this is what it is. You know, nobody wants to hear it. Yeah, that's right. I agree. All I'm going to have to do is repeat everything that I've already said 1,000 times that you guys don't agree with and you don't believe. So what's the point of arguing about it? As Lewis said, it's over. We know where each other's at. I don't agree that it was the defense that lost us the game yesterday. Other people do. I'm not going to drop the link and argue about it with 500 people attacking me all day.
Culler, again, it's like, you know, you argue with people and they're just too dumb, right? Like there's so much more work to be done before I can even get this reality into their heads that honestly I don't want to take up my life's mission on educating someone who obviously has a learning disability.
Ms. Relentless, I don't believe he did. I don't remember anything unless he says something about it today. I don't know if he's going to talk today. But McDaniel, it's funny how the language McDaniel uses is literally like the same language I'm using. all the time. He's oh, Culler, that doesn't mean that's what he really believes. Well, there you go. There's the poll question of the day. Because the guy, like, I'm pretty sure he knows why we lost that game yesterday. It don't matter what any of us say. We can argue about it. We can have our opinion. The reason we have to eventually move on in disagreement is because it doesn't matter. It only matters what Mike McDaniel's opinion is.
I think where Dolphins fans that are ready to hate on the defense are kind of coming from, and I'll kind of meet them this way.
I
Is
do
that
too. Go ahead. Because
well,
you know what? I need 5 anyway, so go ahead and try to
so
steel man their position, though, Cap. That's what we do here.
if that Dolphins offense showed up like they did against that team any time before Jalen Phillips' injury, then we probably win that game. That's the facts. Before Jalen Phillips' injury, probably win that game. Before Zach Seiler's eye poke and Jalen Phillips' injury, probably win that game. In which case, if we were that early on in the season, Dolphin fans wouldn't be talking about blow it up or tank or none of that. It would be more along the lines of, hey, the ship is getting right. Let's see if we can string some together. But failing offensively to inferior opponents while the defense is doing everything in their power to give the offense an opportunity. And yeah, you can say the teams were subpar, and that's true. But that's also twice as true that the offense couldn't put it together against subpar opponents.
And again,
Ultimately, I'm trying to just get off this hamster wheel.
Agreed. And again, if we're talking about one missed opportunity, even 2 by the offense throughout the day, I'm with y'all on the defense. But we're talking about 4, 5, maybe 6 opportunities to have had more points than they did. I just can't accept that it's all on the defense. Like the defense lost us that game.
The defense couldn't win the game, and neither could the offense, and those are the facts.
Problem is, without outright scoring, which is the same way the offense wins, the defense can never win. Even if you get a sack to end the game, I don't say the defense won that game. We don't say, in case you didn't notice, the platitude is in. The repeated lie has been repeated enough to where it's fact now. What's to his record against the Patriots, Cap?
God, dude, I don't think he's ever lost to him.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure. Has he ever lost to him?
Did we not watch Xavier Howard win the game for the defense against the Patriots one time?
But Culler, you asked what his thing was, and that's what they only care about. What's his record?
I understand, but here's the reason I
not
let them
who
have
won
that.
the game, not who won the game.
Here's the reason I've always let them have that narrative. I pushed a little, but for the most part, that's fact that Tua hasn't lost the game against. Okay, right. And I've let them have that. You know why? Because I'm standing on the same energy. A defense cannot win you a game unless they outright score.
Well, you remember, Culler, that team back then, they used to score all the time on defense. So
I understand back then, but that game, no. Tua and our offense scored more points than the other team. The defense, Xavier Howard getting that fumble or whatever, that did not win us the game.
yeah.
Likewise, if Xavier Howard doesn't get that fumble and they kick the game-winning field goal, likewise, the defense didn't lose us the game. When you're talking about your offense only had 16 points. Now, in this case, we had 27. They had 30. And we knew they were going to put up 30. When was the last time the Buffalo Bills didn't put up 30? Oh, I remember. When we beat them by 1 point.
So I just
2
want
points.
to address Game Boy. I learned from y'all, honestly. Allowing the defense to skate yesterday is nasty work, but I get it. The narrative must prioritize at all times. You're right. I've learned from you guys because the narrative, no matter how shitty, how many times Tua went to sleep on the field, no matter how many injuries and games and him looking at himself in the mirror, no matter how many red flags he has seen that she was a crazy bitch, you all still convinced everybody that this is the love of your life and that you're going to get married and it's best for the family. And I'm going to fight back at that narrative until that narrative is no longer there. Over everything. You're right. That is my fucking agenda.
Yeah, and the very reason I know Lewis doesn't have an agenda is because if he did, being that he's a guy that doesn't want Tua here anymore, he wouldn't be trying to shit on the defense if he had an agenda. Because it would go against his agenda of wanting Tua off the team. So why would he prop up the defense if he didn't truly believe what he was saying? If it was just an agenda, then you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't want Tua here anymore. Pointing out the defense flaws increases the chances that the narrative allows Tua to stay here. So why would Lewis go against his own wishes if he wasn't being genuine? That's my agenda too, Game Boy. Thank you. Hit the like button. And I know that Lewis really doesn't want Tua on the team anymore. I know that's true. Like, he's not lying. If I find out he is, well, yeah, disappointment. But I have no reason to believe that. The guy's a genuine person. Hey, so we got to do this, people. We got to find out what McDaniel said about yesterday while he had his wits about him and all cleaned up and back in a good mood and all that stuff. It's funny how everybody that on Twitter everybody that responds to my tweets about Tua being responsible, every one of them that agree are giving valid reasons why they agree with me. And everybody that disagrees with me is insulting me. That should tell you everything you need to know. I don't have one comment from somebody that is giving a valid reason why I'm wrong. They're just all insulting me and trying to discredit me and tagging me and all their other friends to let them all know that I said that. While the people that agree with me are actually coming in giving valid reasons why they agree with me. I could pull it all up to show you if you want. I ain't gonna do it, but like, it's funny. I've never done that. I don't do that, CB83. It was a test this morning, and the test was successful. I got the exact results that I predicted. All right, let me share this screen here. We're gonna hear what our genius coach has to say. I am gonna speed it up. Everybody pretty much said it's game on. Tyreek says, oh, that's the one thing I wanted to talk about before I get into this. Tyreek Hill, in his interview, said that We're now at the spot where we know we're in playoff mode. The playoffs are here now. We know that every game is a must win. We're in that playoff mentality now. Like, we know we got to get there now. Is anybody asking why we haven't been in that mentality since week 1? Oh, there's a chance, Kevin. There is certainly a chance. Mainly because after Tyler Bass shows everybody why we lost the game yesterday and we're all willing to actually talk about it, it looks like the organization is saying, look, we intend to continue to win, try to win. But we also intend to figure out who wants to do that. So what we're doing now is basically we're in tank mode, but it's only because you could reasonably expect that if we lose some players because McDaniel assesses that they don't want to execute, then we likely will lose games because of the talent loss, but not because we're not executing. And so what it's forcing is, hey, we're going to try to execute our way out of this. And that means that we're at some point going to learn that that's what needs to be done. So if that is able to carry over to the next few years and it gets fixed now and we lose a bunch of games because of it, but not because of execution, then we're actually on the road to have finally identified the problem and working on fixing it for this whole organization. And that's why I say Tyler Bass may be responsible for saving the Dolphins' future. Because the coaches agree with me. And we're going to find that out right now when we watch this presser. The coaches agree with me. At least McDaniel does. I don't know if he's safe. I don't know if his seat is hot. But with the way he's talking, I don't think it necessarily is. And guess what? The owner might just back him up. I told you all that he had the ability to go into the office and show Ross and razzle dazzle him with a bunch of jargon and a bunch of videotape to show why it's an execution problem. So Ross probably told him, then guess what? I don't care what it costs. I don't care how much money we lose. I don't care how much talent we lose. We are going to teach this organization from top to bottom how to execute. And if they do, we win. If they don't, we lose. Period. Because the next group that comes in here is also going to have to execute. It's never going to go away. Never going to go away. And so now we have an opportunity to say, guess what? Season's over. Call Drew. Whether that means get this guy that don't want to execute off my team, or whether it means get me this guy that wants to execute for the rest of the season, because that shows me that he's worth keeping next year and that he's not just a rental to try to get a Super Bowl. That's where we're at now. And that's what McDaniel is about to tell you guys, whether you want to hear it or not. We are going to execute our way out of this 35-year organizational problem. Or Mike McDaniel will be fired. One or the other.
What's going on?
Not much, Mike. How you doing? The question will get louder here.
Sealer and Jump, obviously two impact guys. Wanted to try to get a little bit more clarity on both from you. With Sealer, have doctors yet indicated if they think it would be safe for him to play next Monday? That would be a full 12 days, or actually 17 days after the injury. And with Chubb, are you confident he's going to play at any point this season?
So with Sealer, that's kind of I'm optimistic about that timeline. And you have to take it day by day anyway to accumulate information. But that was more safe of a timeline, but from his injury, and so feel optimistic about that. And you know, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm optimistic that we'll see Bradley, but I do know that it's very simple. The time is based on how his body's responding, and there's no. I mean, I saw him today outside my window running.
Man, we know all that, bro. Just say you don't know and you're hopeful. Just move on.
He's working incessantly on it. So, you know, there's hope and optimism, but we'll see how that plays out. I couldn't, with reason, hedge my bet on that. But we'll continue to see how.
It really is like he's trying, like he's a college kid trying to fill an essay with words. It really is, man.
That progresses.
I hate to have anyone speak for you, but Drew Rosenhaus was on TV last night saying that he had information suggesting that there's no interest in all in being sellers at the trade deadline. Is that accurate? Or have you guys made a decision on what you're?
Yeah, I mean,
well, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button. He's about to answer the Drew Rosenhaus rumor. Okay. Now, for those of you that haven't voted yet, pay attention to his answer before you answer the poll question.
I know two things exist, and one of which I think there's no real label on what we're doing, just because you know, I know one thing that Chris Greer and I both share.
In other words, cut the buyer seller crap. We're doing what we need to do. It don't matter whether that means buy or sell.
Very strong conviction and belief in this team and what it looks like if you can find a way to get over the hump, which we fully expect to. At the same time,
fully expect to get over the hump.
Job is to field all business and listen and think both in the short and long term of the best interest of
thinking in the both in short and long term, looking at business. Now pay attention to what's coming up, because he's gonna when he talks about we're looking at all business, what he's referring to is fielding phone calls for either buying or selling. That's the business he's referring to. So if y'all didn't pick that up, because he's about to say something about that, what he knows about Chris doing that business
for the franchise. And then he comes to me with any and all business that's real, and we discuss.
Comes to me with any and all business that's real. So remember what I just said about what he means by business. And now he's saying he comes to me with any and all business that's real. So in other words, he's not talking about their quick conversations on the field or on the phone about, oh, what should we do? Should we do this or that? Or should we bring this guy or that guy? He's talking about Chris Greer brings it to him when it's real, when the business is real, when a team's on the horn going, hey, how much for Tyreek? That's the business that he brings to McDaniel, and not before then, because it's important what he finishes up by saying here to understand that.
You know, from there, and he hasn't brought anything that is real to me.
He hasn't brought anything that is real to me. So he's basically kind of refuting Drew Rosenhaus as far as being buyers. What he's saying is we're not buyers or sellers. So far, Greer hasn't come to me with anything real, up or down.
Me, but I know first and foremost, we are absolutely convicted in this team being better than the win-loss column right now, and believe that it can.
Right, and if that means bringing in somebody else to make that win-loss record better, that's what he's talking about. They're not done. They are simply not done. They have given us the team we asked for. They have done everything that this fan base has clamored for in the majority. Time to ride with it, people. When you buy a bad car, you still got to go to work with it. Time to deck it out and make it yours. That's all you can do.
it can make a turn. And that's how we're approaching each and every day.
If I could, beyond this year, like long term, what's the argument for keeping all this together? There are guys, not to name names, but are on 1-year deals, things like that. What's in your mind? What's the value, even if maybe the playoffs got to touch at some point, to continue to keep this group together?
Well,
Finally, the 10-pound question in the room. Finally. No matter what happens this season, turn it around or not turn it around, what's the value in keeping all this group together? In other words, when Barry Jackson said, hey, yesterday's performance shows us we shouldn't blow the team up, this guy's asking him outright, what's the value in not blowing this team up?
I think that the answer to that question is found. You get no greater insight into who people are than times like these. And I think
this is the third time this season he's answered this question, the same exact answer. Let me let him repeat that.
What's in your mind? What's the value, even if maybe the
Pay close attention here. It's the third time he said
well,
this.
I think that the answer to that question is found. You get no greater insight into who people are than times like these.
Ladies and gentlemen, strike up the band. We're back. It's going to take a while before we start winning again. Maybe 2026. But we're back. This guy ain't going nowhere. Hallelujah. It's exactly what I want to hear. That is the third time that all of you and I have sat here and watched him and witnessed him say that this year. It's the third time.
And I think they have each and every day to make the argument for themselves as well as we do. That's what you fight for in the National Football League. So
they have every day from here on out to prove that that's who they are. Let me do that one again.
Times like these, and I think they have each and every day to make the argument for themselves as well.
They have each and every day to make the argument for themselves. See, what our team has and our players haven't realized until maybe now, and what he finishes by saying here, let me let him finish his statement.
Well, as we do. That's what you fight for in the National Football League. So
that's what you fight for in the National Football League. Do you wait till week 9? Well, some players do. And you end up 2-6, and your coach saying this for the third time. It's time to find out. We're rolling, guys. Those who want to win and execute and do what it takes to win, get on board, because we rolling. It is a stupid narrative, CB83, because we can't tank now. We're going to get what we want. Because I think this gentleman right here, I would hope, by now has realized that it's up to him to allow players to be on this roster. And if you can't do what he needs you to do, we're going to find out. Because there is no Tua getting better than we saw yesterday. In order to win yesterday, you had to tighten your defense up. When you're not executing in all phases of the game, it causes your defense to execute that much better. And we didn't. So we going to find out. As long as they don't fire this guy, Greer, whatever, I don't know. That all depends on whether he's going to get this guy what he wants. Or whether it's the next guy. But as long as this guy is here, from here on out, and I think he's proven that over the last 2 weeks, given the scheme we've been running, you're going to execute or we're going to find out. If that means we win out, great. Because then guess what? We're still not there, but we got a whole bunch of players that want to execute. If we lose out, guess what? That roster might be smaller, but we're going to have a whole bunch of people that want to execute. So with that single kick yesterday, Tyler Bass single-handedly may have saved our future.
I think that the only positive in a luster of adversity is that you get clarity into each and every person who's part of the solution, who's part of the problem.
That's the fourth time he said that now. Twice in the same presser, twice in the same question. That's the fourth time he said that now. You're wrong, CB83, because I'm saying it now. You can play your greatest game of your career and still wet the bed. No, Pete. I said Tyler Bass may have saved the Dolphins' future because we're going to execute from here on out, or it's the last thing this guy's going to do. And if he's still here next year, the next group of guys is going to execute. because I'm pretty sure that with his Ivy League education, he is about done with people not executing, including himself. We'll see what the owner thinks.
And I think that that's the ultimate accountability for the National Football League that we all have to bear. And I think there's a lot
Exactly.
of,
what the hell he's going to do for you?
Argument for anybody's existence is in their hands to a degree.
I didn't realize this game was played by a bunch of guys in cashmere sweaters.
The negative connotations that come with the idea of a game manager quarterback. I think some of the discourse when a quarterback throws a bunch of short passes, they'll say he was just a game manager, and that becomes the negative connotation. How would you push back against?
No, it doesn't. No, wait a minute. No, it doesn't. Travis, with all due respect, you make it a negative connotation. You project a negative connotation onto everybody else about game manager, okay? So just because you think everybody thinks it's negative doesn't mean that that's how they're using it. You're projecting that.
And negative, and also kind of how Tua played that game with how he saw things, got the ball out quickly, and how beneficial it is for an offense.
Well, I think that we found the hard way going against a division opponent that's at the top of the class in defensive football for the last couple of years. That particularly the Buffalo Bills will force bad things to happen, sack fumbles, picks, if they want to take something away. And football in general is about maximizing. Specifically our offense is maximizing overplay, and if you're going to overplay with depth, you have to execute in high percentage completions. And
you have to what?
And yards after the catch that aren't necessarily the cross court gigantic plays, but are the throw it for 4 and you get 7, and that's kind of the art of that particular style of defense when they want to play the way they've proven to have success against our offense. And I thought it was a great display of Tua's evolution of finding completions and utilizing his accuracy and challenging the areas of the field that weren't overpopulated. And with a team that plays with a bunch of quarterback vision that relies on turnovers, it's absolutely imperative display of Tua's evolution of finding completions and utilizing his accuracy and challenging the areas of the field that weren't overpopulated.
That's an outright lie. That's an outright lie, McDaniel. I get that you're still trying to cape up, but he's gone, bro. He's not going to be your quarterback next year. The man literally throws the coverage, dude. That's how he identifies his receivers.
And, with a team that plays with a bunch of quarterback vision.
We sat there. All I heard this morning was how gorgeous that pass across the middle to Jonnu Smith was when it went through 3 defenders to get to him. But McDaniel just said he's taken the next step of evolution of finding the places on the field that are less populated. Translation for those of you that don't understand McDaniel speak, less populated areas of the field means guys that aren't triple covered. And I don't know what game you're watching. If you thought other than the dump offs to Achane, I don't know what guy he was finding that wasn't at least double covered.
That relies on turnovers. It's absolutely imperative to be able to pass the ball efficiently and take advantage of the areas where they're voiding. So I think that's an art. This
is a bunch of platitude speak for Tua. That's all this is. It's so obvious.
What you're saying, managing the game against zone defenses, you usually can't.
No way you're that dumb, McDaniel. No way. You're not going to flash an Ivy League education at me and then act like you're that dumb.
really good zone defenses, you can't manage the game in the way of just finding checkdowns, because if you go to the checkdown too early in the play, they play deep and will sprint forward, and you'll get a 2-yard gain.
Oh, you don't say. You mean like last week when he didn't hit Durham on the 25-yard pass instead of hitting the 11-yard one to Mostert? Is that the one you're talking about, McDaniel? Because they put that one in the highlight reel for the game this week. I hope you know that.
So you have to play the position to get appropriately to get the ball to the eligibles at the time of the play, and that is an art form that many quarterbacks find very difficult, particularly against the Buffalo Bills. So I thought yesterday was a great example of aggressively taking what the defense gives you, and is able to do some.
Is this guy for real, bro? Crypto, is this guy for real?
I don't know. I just tuned in. The last part I only heard a little bit.
He said Tua was good yesterday at aggressively taking what the defense was giving him. Now, I haven't looked at the All-22 yet, but I did look at it last week. And I'd have to say there was no aggressively taking what the defense gave you, because we would have had an extra touchdown last week if he did. What did you see, having gone to the game and sat in the stadium with the All-22 view all day long? What did you see that would relate to this statement from McDaniel that Tua was aggressively taking what the defense could give him yesterday? And be honest, if your answer contradicts what I'm saying, fine. I haven't watched the All-22 yet. I'll get to that tonight.
No, I would say part of his statement's right, part of it's not. I wouldn't use the term aggressive, because it was more like passively taking it.
Right, like a check down to Achane.
Yeah,
eight times. Eight times.
The running backs were used more often in that game versus any other game, but for the most part. And the tight ends being used in the short passing game, flare outs and lateral passes and things like that. Not lateral, but sideways passes, not vertical.
So like a short
West
Coast passing game.
Yeah, that's right. But what would be his statement when his counterpart that knows this offense inside out next week decide and Mike and the grandson of the great Don Shula decides not to give you what you think that the defense is giving you?
Right.
Right. I wonder what would be that statement next week, because defense is not going to always give you anything. There's defense that'll give you something. There's some defense out there that won't give you nothing. Then what are you going to do?
If McDaniel was telling the truth about if McDaniel was telling the truth about Tua's abilities, we would have won the game last week.
Right.
That's blatantly obvious.
Right. I just think it's just a cliche statement to take what the defense is giving you.
Right. So I'm trying to figure.
What happens when a defense?
What I'm trying to figure. Are they trying to
squeeze?
What I'm trying to figure though, Crypto, is he trying to squeeze the last amount of juice out, or does he actually believe this nonsense?
Right. Because remember, as we witnessed in '84, Buddy Ryan had a defense that didn't give you nothing. Marino took that game from them. That was the difference. Are we going to have an offensive game plan mastered where you take the game away from the defense and because the defense not giving you nothing, like in that '84 Bears game that we had on that Monday night?
Right.
Was there going to be some defenses out there just not going to give you nothing? Now what is going to be the response?
And just time-wise, when you're playing the Buffalo Bills, how could you ever expect to score enough points when you're only passing 28 times anyway?
Right.
You're burning so much time. Lewis pointed out those 2 long drives. one of them being 97 yards. You know how much
Right,
time
that
it
was
took to do that?
right. It was, I was at the 3-yard line. Yeah, I was in that end zone
So,
actually. That
so
happened.
for those that are posting
Don't
it,
know.
that are spamming it in the chat right now, 25 for 28 means nothing to me.
Right.
I would have rather him been 32 for 38, because we know it only takes 3 passes for him to get 182 yards. What happened to that?
Right. Good point. Yeah. Yeah, he could do it 182 just in
Yeah,
3
what
passes.
happened to that?
That went by the wayside. What was our deepest one?
Oh, now we're
20
going to
something?
credit him for those 3 passes because it makes his 156-yard day look better. But now that he has a 235-yard day, we're fine with that, and we're going to prop him up, put him back on our shoulders, and crown him Marino again, huh? Like I said, Tua Hall of Fame brigade is out in full force. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't want an efficient QB. CB83. Efficient is mediocre.
Yeah. I think these offensive coordinators now is playing the percentage game. You think lately with these quarterbacks now cracking on average above 65?
Hey, when was the last time they awarded a W for being more efficient than the other team?
That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Right.
Oh, but Culler, in a 10-game sample size, efficiency will win more ball games. Yeah. In an 18-game sample size, we're 7-11.
Yep.
We're 2-9 in our last 11.
Yep, that's that rolling stat that I'm gonna petition for the NFL to start doing, so we can stop having these quarterback only win games crowd to see how that feel.
Was that Wooback I just saw? What's up, Wooback? Sorry, guys. I'm getting a little tired. We're at the 2-hour, 45-minute mark. Hit the like button, everybody, and vote in the poll. We're at 81 likes. We're getting close. 19 more, and we hit 100, and Cap won't fire me. So, Crypto, in case you didn't check the poll out, 189 have voted. Awesome results, but that's upside down with the number of likes we got.
I think I voted. I think I seen it.
Right on. So do you believe McDaniel and Greer are honest with the fans? 22% say yes, 68% say no, and 10% say Abe Lincoln would blush.
No, I think I voted no in that poll.
You voted no. All right. So you think they're being honest. You think they really are convicted in this team and think we can turn it around and win.
No, I thought you said are being honest or not being honest. I
got you. I got you. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm backwards. Yeah. No. All right. Now, the thing of it is, for those that believe that they are truly telling the truth, that they're really convicted about turning things around, I like that actually, because I know for certain that turning things around means culling your roster. Not to use a coincidental word, but culling your roster to those that want to execute. And when you start executing, you're at least gonna not be losing games because of execution. You see what I'm saying, Crypto? You might lose the rest of your games, but it's not going to be because of execution. I can tell you that going forward. And that's the encouraging part to me, because at this point, it's not about fixing our problems. It's not about winning or losing. It's about executing.
That we haven't had in the past, based upon his commitment to his craft and being aggressive to all eligibles based upon overplay.
piggyback on that question, but that 97-yard drive, a lot of different players touched the ball. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle didn't. So what kind of effect do they have on a series like that? Just the threat of them and what they can kind of create.
There was like 3 or 4 plays where
yeah, we know they blocked.
Tyreek
They're so selfless.
Jalen got 2
We
man, so
know.
basically they got doubled, which
Why they ask them that question? You realize we played a team next week that we don't even play like Buffalo.
Underneath.
I know.
And so dispersing the ball is imperative. Jonu's screen on that play was based on a overloaded coverage to slot to the other eligibles, or to Tyreek and Waddle. There was a couple two shell run defenses where they were playing 2-man and thus late to fit that we were able to exploit on back-to-back plays. I believe it was to Raheem, at least backed up on an inside zone, and then there was another one in 11 personnel where Malik was out in front. So really, it was we've been talking about making plays without the ball, and the finest orchestration that Reek and Waddle had, I thought, with both the releases and challenging the defense every play, even when they weren't getting the ball, so they had to give them the prerequisite attention. And then as you saw the game develop, once we evened out the playing field a little bit and they started playing true evenly spaced zone defense, that's when they got involved, as we've kind of outlined, and they've been diligent about
Oh boy, this all 22 is going to be fun to watch, Crypto. It's going to be real fun to watch. You know what's funny? None of the people that have been watching it the last couple of weeks are going to watch it this week because they're so sure Tua had a great game that they're not going to feel the need to prove it.
Yeah, they probably not even going to watch it. They're going to skip it.
Watch what happens. Watch what happens when the real people out there like myself and like others, watch what happens when we watch it. I guarantee you we're going to see the same things we've seen for the last 10 ball games, dude. When he talks about, oh, this and that, yeah, is going to be what we see as missed opportunities by our quarterback. Oh, no, Reek was a decoy on that play. That nonsense. Watch. But they're not going to watch it because they're so sure Tua balled out that they're not going to feel the need to vindicate themselves. So none of them guys are going to watch it this week.
Right. No, all 22 been put on hold, right?
We kind of knew going in that we were going to need to do that to have the success where they've proven to put over attention on those guys, and I think that's why we were able to find some success offensively in that game.
Do you think Jordan's hit on the final their drive there was a finable offense, and also if you believe was it the right call?
Well, I try to stay out of the things that I either way I've seen things not get fined and seen things get fined. I don't really have any idea. I just know that you leave yourself vulnerable anytime you leave the strike zone. I have no question in my mind that Jordan had the right intent. And then, it's a skill to be able to identify a moving target and then adjust your strike zone based upon, if they're jumping or not in a millisecond. And, so I think his intent was correct. It didn't surprise me that it got called because there was contact there. But, I'll leave it to the league to assess if that's finable or not. I don't really know. That's out of my expertise, I would say.
Did the refs permitting Matt Collins to spot the ball without the refs touching it and the ball himself to spot it, did that irk you or the staff? And do you think it was costly at all on Buffalo's final drive?
Yeah, I think based upon how I understand the rules, that that if you were able to spot things on your own, it does save time. Time was of the essence in that period of the game, but that's not the reason why we lost the game. We had plenty of controllables that are in our hands, and I'll just kind of leave it at that. I think that.
Oh, you don't say, McDaniel. So he just said we had a lot of controllables that were in our hands. Were any of those controllables the defense? Since when did the defense become a controllable? So this man just got through telling you that they missed several opportunities of things that they had control of in their own hands.
If we're focused on, like, the gripe is one thing. Another thing is how I want the team and the players to look at it. And officials do have pluses and minuses every game. It's we got to focus on defending the field and not getting into the range of a field goal kicker with a strong leg.
You opened by saying you have faith in the team.
Hmm?
You opened this by talking about yours and Chris's faith in the team and how you believe much better than the record. But the record is what it is. Coming back from as many losses now as you had last year and the playoff thing, we know how difficult that will be. What keeps them in the locker room confident and still thinking they can do what you believe they can do?
Well, I think because the most powerful thing that we have in coaching and playing is tape and understanding what our jobs are and how we can do them better. So I think the team overall,
The eye in the sky don't
that
lie.
we should be in a better position to perform based upon our work week and how we attack that and what we focused on, what we thought about, and as a result, I think that we played our best version to this point of football in a lot of ways. And I think the guys, how much they've kind of bought into what we're trying to do, see areas that they can tighten up the game. And in a game like that comes down to a 61-yard field goal, every little thing does matter. And regardless how difficult the circumstances may be, they are our circumstances. And I think guys are really just trying to do right by their teammates and the organization for something they believe in. So we went into the game knowing that having full confidence that we could win, and we knew we were the only people that would hold that confidence. And we got close, but close doesn't really count. So it was a tough pill to swallow, but not the type of pill that tells you to take your foot off the gas. More that's there was, albeit it was a heartbreak, it was more validation that we are much better than our record is, but our record is what it is. So you have one choice. If you really feel that way, you have to dictate change. And there's closer only counts if it's on the path to fixing it. So I think guys will be hungry to go attack business for a Monday night outing against the Rams, and make some of these failures purposeful. So we've scratched and clawed to get closer, but I definitely don't think anybody in the locker room is satisfied with closer. That was a tough pill to swallow, that we have to apply all the tough part of it to the Rams, nothing else.
You mentioned how important the little things are. It seems like, especially over the last 3 weeks, like little things have really prevented you guys from winning the games that
Closer to what? 30 points? 31 points?
Yes, I'm going to say that's all relative. I mean,
Because when your defense is trying to separate, they're not trying to get closer. Because your offense is trying to get closer to 31 points.
I will respond to his statement by saying, if we're better than our record, did anybody ask Andy Reid, is the Chiefs better than their record?
Right. Not only that, but don't you think the Buffalo Bills wanted to get closer than 61 yards?
Right.
you probably should have won. How do you correct those little things?
Yeah, well, you try to identify and pattern and take care of something without something else popping up. Sometimes you're able to execute that. I think that we did get better in our preparation, and as a result, had some successes in the game that we'd otherwise had failures in that environment. But at the same time, you're depending on the accountability of all people across the board, and then letting the game take game tapes speak for itself when we get together and talk about the realities of what our football is. And each and every week, you just try to knock stuff out so that you don't have that lesson learned in vain, where you're losing a game and you don't get better from it. The idea is if you're going to lose a game, you better get better from it in some way, shape, or form to chase the accomplishment of succeeding where there's a lot of reasons to continue on a path of losing. So trying to find our team's performance to be the best team in the stadium that day. It's been kind of challenging at times for us this year. And
I know. See, my next question would have been, what are those reasons for losing, McDaniel? Did you hear what he just said, Crypto? He said it's hard to keep focus on the goal of getting 6th seeding when there's so many other reasons to continue to lose. What are those reasons? My follow-up question as a journalist would have been, what are those reasons?
Yeah.
Better draft position? Better salary cap situation?
Yeah.
Better coach?
And but I haven't seen people relent, and that's because they believe that we're a better representation of what it is. And we got valiant effort, but we got beat. So what are you going to do about that? I know the Rams don't care, and nor will any other team. So we have to get ourselves prepared for those next.
You're right. The
challenges.
Rams don't care because they play different.
Yep, and they're expecting to win from here on out. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they're not tanking.
I wonder how they've been able to hold on by a thread, Crypto, this year before they got things right. I wonder how they did that. Oh, that's right, Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Completely immerse yourself into that if you're going to try to expect a different result.
Leads in the second half in each of the last 3 weeks. Has there been a common thread as to why you're able to hang on to them?
I thought this past game going against a really good quarterback that was able to find some success in the second half. I thought the team did have more resolve, and there was a couple plays offensively that maybe a field goal is a touchdown, and a couple plays defensively where we get off the field in critical situations that we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. But the resolve was.
Did I hear that correctly?
What part?
This part. Let me replay it.
The team did have more resolve, and there was a couple plays offensively that maybe a field goal is a touchdown.
Oh, you don't say.
And a couple plays defensively where we get
maybe
off the
a field goal is a
in
touchdown.
critical situations that we kind of shot ourselves in.
And then he goes on to say there's a couple plays where we needed to get off the field on defense.
Yeah.
Now, one of those plays was that touchdown to their 5th offensive lineman while Josh Allen was almost on the ground. But we'll leave that for Thursday. But what did he just say? Did he say, no, the offense, man, they did all they could do and not one thing more could they have done. The defense just shot themselves in the foot. No, this is what he said.
More resolve, and there was a couple plays offensively that maybe a field goal is a touchdown. And
he said a couple plays. He didn't say one.
Yeah. Couple plays, field goals, a touchdown.
It's a couple plays defensively where we get off the field in critical situations that we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. But the resolve was an improvement. The week before, you have a situation where I think both sides of the ball had a chance to win it, and they didn't.
Wrong, McDaniel. The defense cannot win it unless they outright score.
Not the same formula,
right.
Even though it's the same result. And the week before that, I think the offense was on the field. So the common denominator is winning those last couple drives. I think there's been several different reasons why that hasn't occurred. But there's a absolute fixation. We kind of talked about it most of the week that chances are this is going to come down to a final possession or be a one-score game. So we have to be ready to execute. I thought we were close to that on defense with a 3rd and 14. Shot ourselves in the foot, got to a 3rd and 9, and you're looking at getting off the field until you get that penalty. And then there was a couple throws that were 5 or 6 yard throws into the boundary that I think we could have been tighter in coverage. So that wasn't the same formula from the week before. And you have to be clear with that with the players. So it's just not like, woe is us. Well, no.
Now do the offense, McDaniel. Now do the offense. You just pointed out 4 different things the defense couldn't have tightened up on. Now point out the 8 different things the offense could have tightened up, would you?
Let's correct something.
Right.
And make sure we're not victims of the same circumstance in the same way.
Right there. Right there, he said it. All wrapped up in one phrase. We have to make sure that we're not in that situation. And how do we do that, Crypto? Do tell.
Hang on.
Let me let him repeat it.
Formula from the week before. And you have to be clear with that with the players. So it's just not like, woe is us. Well, no, let's correct something. And shot ourselves in the foot, got to a 3rd and 9. And you're looking at getting off the field until you get that penalty. And then there was a couple throws that were 5 or 6 yard throws into the boundary that I think we could have been tighter in coverage. So that wasn't the same formula from the week before. And you have to be clear with that with the players. So it's just not like, woe is us. Well, no, let's correct something and make sure we're not victims of the same circumstance.
Make sure we're not victims of the same circumstance. And how would you do that?
What was that?
How would you do that? He said that we have to make sure that we're not a victim of the same circumstance in the future.
Oh.
So how would you do that? What would be the key to doing that?
Well, he wouldn't be calling the same thing.
Maybe not. Maybe not letting the opponent have the ball last.
Yeah, you could do that. I try not to
The
defer.
same way.
Change the order.
So it hasn't been in the same way, but the tonality now that we have a 3-game pattern is definitely a focus on how we finish.
A 3-game pattern? He just said that the way we lost yesterday, where we can't close out a game with our offense, that's a 3-game pattern, Crypto.
Right, unless he's diving back into the Indianapolis game now.
Is he serious?
Yeah.
This is an 18-game pattern, McDaniel.
Collectively as a group, not just offense, special teams, but collectively finishing an opponent that you're able to gain a lead on. All right.
It's unbelievable, bro. Just unbelievable.
Game pattern. Is he talking about rolling 3-game pattern? Meaning he's going to do the same thing next week?
Well, he's talking about leaving the ball leaving the game in the defense's hands, like we do every time we lose.
Yeah.
That's only a 3-game pattern in his eyes, in his estimation. That's unbelievable. I guess I am dumb. Man, 40 years of watching football, bro, and I've just, my God, the whole time I didn't know what I was looking at. That's amazing.
There you go.
Yeah, and I couldn't even. I'm not gonna make y'all suffer. I couldn't even watch Tua's presser without practically throwing up, dude. I'm not gonna bring that on my show. It's not good TV.
Oh, I didn't even see Tua's pressure.
It's terrible, bro.
Was it porcelain godlike or what was it?
It was completely oblivious.
I'm absolved.
It was
How
look
long yesterday's game?
how well we've improved.
Oh, he was coming out there looking for more victories.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The whole presser, dude.
Mm-mm.
Not one word about the shotgun that he dropped again.
Right. It's Aaron. Did he say anything about Brewers' improvement? It was not 80 miles an hour at him. It was more like 65.
You know what I just noticed? They didn't even ask McDaniel about Tua's shotgun drop. So we're just going to ignore that because we've got our narrative. We've got our stat line and we've got our narrative. It was the defense. So forget asking him why he dropped another shotgun that was right in his lap as if he was sitting on a couch eating chips.
Yep, and I'm eating chips right now. I'm eating potato skins. Bacon
Oh, I
ranch.
know. I'm hungry. I got to go get some chips myself, man.
Yep.
You just did it to me, Crypto. You just ended the show, Crypto. Damn.
Yeah. I got Fridays, TGI Fridays, potato skins, bacon
I don't
ranch.
know. It looks like we ain't getting to our 100 likes, bro. We're at 85, man, and it just shut off because everybody don't like me anymore. But we do have 203 people that voted in the poll. Thank you to all 203 people that voted. Awesome results. I think that's the best poll we've had yet. Do you believe in McDaniel and Greer are honest to the fans? Now, Crypto, this is regarding, of course, when they're talking about conviction in the team, turning things around, all that stuff, or are we just tanking, basically?
Right, it's a soft tank.
66% have said no, they don't believe McDaniel and Greer. 23% said yes, and 9% said Abe Lincoln would blush. Thank you again to all 203 voters. We got 87 likes. If I hold out a little bit longer for my potato chips, we might be able to get them 13 likes, man. So keep them coming. Hit the like button.
Oh, man.
Come in from Twitch or Twitter or wherever you're at. Just come over here, hit the like button real quick. Go back over where you were at. Subscribe to the channel. Donate if you'd like. And become a member. Like the very vast number of members we already have here. Appreciate every one of them. And make sure you go to tftgnetwork.com. Bookmark it and make it your homepage because it is your centralized location for all things Finn's Tailgate.
If we're not winning when Tua plays decent game, what happens to our team when he plays just an average game or revert back to the mean? Revert back to the mean.
Exactly. Title of the show today, Crypto. Dolphins season over? Call Drew. What do you think about these rumors that or this idea that Drew Rosenhaus believes that the Dolphins are going to be buyers at the deadline?
He just feeding into a lot of gullible people in the fan base.
Engagement farming, you think? Because man, we only got about what? A little over 24 hours left. You know what I mean?
People. More gullible people so they can fire up the algorithm and get people going.
Oh, maybe you know what, Crypto? How perfect that the trade deadline ends on election day this year.
Right.
Because now all these people, all these GMs that don't want people to look at what they're doing too close are going to get all their stuff done tomorrow because we're all going to be busy paying attention to the election and all that.
Right. They
Clever.
did that. Yeah, that was
Clever.
clever.
That's clever.
to schedule it, or it just so happens coincidence that it falls on that weekend. I mean, on that day, you know.
Right, right. Oh,
But
Chris Greer brought in Ryan Tannehill. Oh wow, I didn't see that. I was busy paying attention to the election Tuesday. Oh wow.
He brought in Tannehill, got rid of Tyreek Hill. Oh. But they definitely know how to keep the
Well, Woo back. Since
people
you want to be
distracted.
insulting, guess what? You're insulting somebody that you act like you care, like you're a friend of, and all that, bro.
Mhm.
Some of these same. Wait, I'll wait. How many Super Bowls did Dan Marino win? I'll wait. You're going to be waiting a long time because nobody that has half a brain is even going to want to engage with you in that discussion anymore because it's dumb. And he says, fucked up some of these fan bases, you guys driving people away from podcasts like these. No fun, just miserable dumb fucks, bro. Okay. Well, I think it's the dumbest thing ever to bring up Dan Marino in relation to Tua, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing. Yeah, that's tell me. I like bringing up if they want to talk about Super Bowls and not winning, and you always want to muddy the waters by bringing Tua in the discussion with Marino based on Super Bowls. I like bringing in Zach Wilson. Why not bring him in the same discussion? He
Mm-hmm.
has 0 Super Bowls as well.
Mm-hmm.
So does Cleo Lemon. He has 0 Super Bowls.
I know somebody that has 0 Super Bowls that's got a 4-2 playoff record.
Yeah. And
Who's
I know
actually ran Mike McDaniel's system before? Who's one of those other quarterbacks that could run Mike McDaniel's system?
also
But I
Jay
digress.
Fiedler. Jay Fiedler have won a playoff game with no Super Bowls, but they never want to muddy the waters with Jay Fiedler and bring him into discussion with Marino. But they want to muddy the waters and bring Tua into discussion with Marino based on Super Bowl wins and losses. Well, Jay Fiedler was a Dolphin quarterback, won a playoff game. He also has 0 Super Bowls.
Yeah, Crypto Shake Money using his 23-month member chat. Appreciate it, Shake. You're an OG. He says, I voted for Lincoln in this poll and back in 1859. Like, wow, man. I thought I recognized you, Shake. I thought I recognized you.
Oh, man.
I love it. That was Shake back on that in that line we were in. Crypto,
yeah.
Damn. I can tell you I didn't vote in Florida, though. I wasn't in Florida when I made that vote. The polls weren't open for that vote. Not in Florida.
Abraham Lincoln.
I had to roll up to Chicago to stand in one of those lines to vote for Lincoln.
Mm.
Not only that, Kenneth, we've had like 4 DCs, bro. And we have the same 22 points a ball game. It's so funny how everybody just expected anything more against Josh Allen. Like, wow. The dude's been averaging 30 points a game on us.
Right. Which means that should tell you our offense have to be efficient enough to produce 31 plus points per game.
And that's the point. It shouldn't be that way. I get it. But we knew it was that way. So it is incumbent upon the group that knows the play before the snap of the ball to help that defense out. That is their job.
Yep.
It's called offense. You're offending the other team.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think they're going to be pissed and want to offend your defense?
All right.
Oh, you can compare Tua to Marino, Jermaine. You sure can. No different than
I
you can.
I
No
I can
different.
also
No
compare Chase
different than.
Fiedler to him
Right.
too.
I can compare a pile of ice cream to a pile of shit too.
Exactly, Color. I can definitely compare a pile of ice cream to a pile of shit.
Right. So what's the point in saying that we can compare the two?
Right. Exactly.
You can
It's a moot
compare
point.
anything.
Right. I could
Apples are red, oranges are orange. There's a comparison.
I can make a comparison between a flat Earth and a non-flat Earth.
Yeah. Something smells good. Something smells bad. That's a comparison. Fuck out of here with that stupid shit. You're not even
Right.
good at rhetoric, dude.
Exactly. Flat Earthers, that's about 1 million strong now. I would say that the numbers may have been growing slightly. You know, they're getting up there, you know, when you start comparing Tua and Marino. The flat earthers are definitely up. The numbers went up.
Oh, that's a great comparison, Black Sheep. Some apples are red, some are green. I think they even have yellow ones.
Yeah, most definitely.
Hey, yesterday it rained. Today it didn't. That's a comparison. In 1980 something, Marino threw for 5,000 yards for the first time ever. Tua has never seen more than 4,624. That's a comparison.
That's a comparison. Yep. Yeah.
Dan Marino threw for over 50 touchdowns in a season. Or did he? No. 49?
Oh, yeah, 48, 49, yeah. In a 16
Tua's
game
never thrown over 30. That's a comparison.
Yep. That's
Dan Marino is over 6 foot and 230 pounds. Tua's not. That's a comparison. Should we do this all day?
Right. One of them got curly blonde hair and another one doesn't.
Here's the
That's a
best one
comparison.
yet. Right, here's the best comparison yet. Josh Allen don't have a Super Bowl win either. Josh Allen is over 6 foot and close to 230. Here's the comparison.
Yep.
Here's the comparison. Josh Allen won the game yesterday. Tua did not. That's a comparison.
Yeah.
Look, I give a shit what Dan Marino won or not. I know who won yesterday.
Yeah. That was a football game played in Highland Park at Orchard Park, New York. Highmark Stadium, Highmark Stadium. You know? Nice, gentle, cool breeze out there.
Joe Rich says Josh Allen pees sitting down. Unfortunately, Josh, he pees on Tua sitting down too.
Right.
I don't care how he pees. He's pissing on my quarterback.
Unfortunately, I was just at Niagara Falls And I didn't see Michael K jump over the end in the barrel. That's a comparison. The Canadian side of the falls got a horseshoe on it, a horseshoe shape. The American side is a straight edge.
Right.
That's a comparison.
Some nights you have a crescent moon. Some nights you have a full moon. Some nights there ain't any moon. That's a comparison.
Yeah. Those crescent moons are perfect, like the one night right now. No, that's like a 1/5 crescent. Looks like it's a 1/5 right now. It's not bad.
Right,
Nice
right,
little glow.
right. So basically what they're saying is because of the no Super Bowl win, and that's the similarity. First of all, you're equating two failures and telling me the guy's not a failure. That don't make sense anyway. Secondly,
Right.
like saying neither one of us, because we're not astronauts, neither one of us can go to the moon or the sun. And that
Right.
means that they're both the same thing.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
Go try to step foot on the sun and see what happens in comparison to standing on the moon.
Right.
They're both, hey, wait a minute, Crypto. They're both objects in the sky.
Yeah. In comparison, yeah, they're both
they're both objects in the sky, bro. Don't sit here and tell me that the sun is going to burn me. We had guys on the moon.
objects in the sky.
They're both objects in the sky. Why can't we stand on both of them? I mean, I know I'm breaking it down and being really silly, but the silliness is meant to illustrate how stupid and fallacious and irrational bringing up Dan Marino is.
Right.
It's just as silly as the shit I'm saying right now.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just, yeah.
No, Jermaine, he doesn't have any time left. That's where you're wrong. You know why Dan Marino got 18 appearances in the playoffs to go 8-10? Because he bought himself that time.
Right. He
is out of time.
Right. He purchased his time.
Whether you want to believe it or not, Tua is out of time.
Right.
He doesn't have 9 seasons left.
Is
to
Jermaine
get 2 playoff wins per season?
Is Jermaine counting starting in 2025 and beyond? Because
look, bro, to get
in the refrigerator.
To get to 18 playoff appearances, Tua at a minimum would have to play 7 more seasons.
Right.
At a minimum. At a high level. He has yet to put one in the books in year 5 at a high level.
Right. At a minimum.
Spare me. And it's likely, Crypto, if you factor 2 playoff appearances a year, that would be 9 seasons to get to 18 appearances.
Right. That's 2 games per year played in the playoffs, which means
and that would
require 1 per year.
And that would require a level of play that we haven't seen yet in 5 years.
And it also has to be constructed in a way that all the other people that's playing at a high level in the same conference, basically their spouses are buying black dresses because they've died and killed over.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's supposing, You don't have another opponent on the field.
Right. Because we all know what happened when Brady occupied all that space over the last 20 years. There's another guy in the middle of the country who's doing that right now as we speak. One of those spots are occupied by him. You want to
I
play
mean,
him
it
the
might
first round
take
every year?
it might take another 4 years for us to fall into the playoffs if we keep going with Tua.
Because if we keep playing Patrick in Baltimore in the first round every year, it would take the full 18 years
Right.
to catch that record.
You're right. If you're falling in the playoffs once a year and being bounced, it would take 18 seasons. And that's
Right.
only if you get there every single year.
Right. Exactly. And the record won't be 8-10. It will be 0-17 at that point.
Right. Otherwise, you would have had a second one in the same year.
Right. So even if you went to 18, it would still be 18 years. That would be an 0-17 record.
I mean, it never ends, Crypto. I don't even know why we're addressing it, to be honest with you. I think it's because when they say it, they have to make snide comments like, fuck out of here. You're so stupid. Anybody that thinks that X, Y, and Z, you know what I mean? It's like when you start your statement with everybody knows this, that, or the other, you're probably committing a fallacy, and I will pick it apart. Any statement started with everybody knows this is likely a fallacy. It's only a matter of time before I figure out where it's fallacious.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm dumb or something. 47-year-old man doing nothing but, a high school education, plenty of freaking experience in life, and Google for the last 20 years of my life. You're not dealing with an idiot here. Sorry, you're not. I don't get off of Dolphins YouTube and go to sleep and then get back and start it again. I do other things in between, like educate myself and other shit. Like getting out of my house and going to other places in the country and hiking the Grand Canyon and shit like that. Because that's how I learn. Think I wanted to go hike the canyon for the sake of it, to tell people I did it? I went there to go learn about the experience and what it was like in the Grand Canyon. I wanted to know about the wildlife there. I wanted to know about why it was formed. I wanted to see parts of it that you can't see unless you hike into the motherfucker.
Yeah. Exactly. The Grand Canyon. When I first saw it for the great time, I said it's the world's most beautiful hole in the ground.
Yeah.
When I saw the Niagara Falls for the first time today, and I saw those falls pouring that freaking a trillion gallons per hour over that freaking edge.
Crypto, you know how a lot of the native cultures will make a deity out of a mountain?
Oh yeah, they probably do it all the time.
Right. No, the natives in Arizona actually made a deity out of the canyon because they consider it an upside down mountain.
Right.
And it literally is an upside down mountain.
Yeah.
Getting to the bottom of that thing is like hiking to the summit of a major mountain.
Right. Because you got some parts over 7,000 feet deep in some parts. Yeah, some edges are from the rim to the base.
The hike was 27 miles, dude, to get from one rim to the other.
Yeah. I'm talking about as far as the depth from the plateau to the.
Yeah, it's
to
about
the base.
13 miles to
Yeah.
hike down to the bottom, to the inner gorge.
Yeah.
It's 8 miles just to the first rest stop, dude. Just to the first campground.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like a crack, Jose, not a crater, because craters are formed by volcanoes or meteors striking. But yeah, I get what you're saying, though.
So I want to say on
More like a
average,
crack in the earth, but
yeah, it's basically a freaking, I call it a hole in the ground, a large hole.
a canyon. That's literally what it is. A canyon.
Basically a hole
A
in the
gorge.
ground.
They actually the deeper part they call the inner gorge. It's a ditch, basically.
Yeah. Just imagine a giant Paul Bunyan just got a pickaxe and started hacking away. You know, that was Paul Bunyan with a pickaxe.
But you know what? You have to follow a sort of a specific trail to get from the one rim to the other. So you can hike the Grand Canyon and still not see parts of it that can't be seen without taking a boat of some kind and rafting down the Colorado River 220 miles through the same area, because you can see things that you can't see without doing that. And so Culler did that too. And Culler has stepped foot on parts of this earth that some of you in chat will never come close to stepping your foot on. So quit making me out to be an idiot, please. I would love the respect of people stop considering me to be a moron because they don't like my take on football.
Yeah.
And they want to try to out rhetoric me. You're not going to win. I've been to a glacier, an ice cave on a glacier in Austria. I'm not an idiot.
Speaking of glaciers, the falls in the wintertime has frozen over maybe a handful of times in history. But, you know, those can become glaciers if we have a deep enough freeze in the wintertime.
Yeah.
If it's a slow enough flow and it's shallow enough, if it recedes, it can actually freeze over. But I think maybe maybe a couple of times in history, it froze over.
Yep. I've been to hidden mountain lakes that were considered the beach for the local mountain village in the middle of the Dolomite Mountains in Italy. Drinking aranciata because it's the only drink they have besides liquor and beer.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Where everybody rides around on mopeds.
On mopeds, yeah. They don't believe in cars or whatever.
And everybody goes
bad.
everybody goes to the hidden mountain lake to go to the beach.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And at the same time as the Grand Canyon and parts of Europe and the Colorado Rockies and Wyoming and all these other places, besides all that, I've been to downtown Miami too at 3 a.m.
Right.
I've walked by dead bodies in the street in downtown West Palm in the broad daylight.
Yeah, they just killed over.
I've been in the middle of the ocean on a deep sea fishing boat fishing. I've been in a freaking back lake in Florida pulling largemouth bass out. I've been to the upper peninsula of Michigan where you can walk across their lakes. I've been to Missouri and parts of Missouri that people don't even know exist, like Deliverance parts of Missouri.
Well, Jose, I will
While running from a weather system that might take my life. I've been everywhere. I have seen a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm just
I've
tired
been
of people acting
everywhere,
like I'm some
man.
fucking moron.
Yeah. Like the song, I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. Yeah.
I've been to strip joints in Montreal where you see the most gorgeous women you've ever laid your eyes on. I've been to Quebec City. I've been to the Armory in Quebec City before the last time it burned down. Overlooking the Hudson.
Yeah. That's what it started or ended, whichever side you're.
I've been to a place called Oatman, Arizona, where there's nothing but donkeys that come into the town during the day. They have to ship in their water in tanks to live there.
Yeah.
Somewhere between the three-way point between Nevada, California, and Arizona. Nearest town is a place called Kingman. I've been to Wickenburg out in the middle of the Mojave Desert with a tour guide that used to be the guide for the U.S. government so they could come and locate their freaking capsules that fell from space because they land in the middle of the Arizona desert.
Damn.
I've been down 3/4 of a mile into the depths of a lava tube in Flagstaff where you couldn't even see your hand in front of your face and where your life depended on how many flashlights you brought and how much battery power you got.
You just gotta hope that it freaking works.
Keep underestimating my intelligence. Just keep doing it. It doesn't bother me anymore.
That'll be my James.
I'm at a point in my life where I know the things I've accomplished, and I know that my level of intelligence. I am 100% sure of the things that I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know, and I'm sure what those things are. So, leaving it on that. Yeah, our season's over. I don't care what you can say. Yeah, there's a hope we go 8-1, and well, yeah, we've done that before. We ran the guy out of the building that did that.
Oh yeah, exactly. That guy when he's out of the building. Right.
So if you think this guy can do it, sure, why not?
When has he shown you can do it?
But I tell you this, you can appeal to Mike McDaniel's authority all you want. You can appeal to Tua and his authority as a NFL quarterback all you want, but you are certainly not going to take away anything that I've ever learned in my life. And it's come from being in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Up to and including school. Anyway, y'all have a good evening. I got to get out of here. We hit the 3-hour, 38-minute mark. Oh my God, Crypto, 94 likes, man. I got to hold out, dude. I can't shut this show down with 96 likes away from 100, bro. Cap will definitely fire me for that.
Got anybody lingering around on any platform that's watching? Just get those 4 people over.
Now, Joe, I have never been on a spacewalk. I've never been on a spacewalk. However, I am from Florida, and the Space Coast is only about 3 hours from me. So I've been inside all them things they did spacewalks in. I've been in all those capsules that were floating in space.
I want to be the first person to go on a manned voyage to Mars, Jupiter, Titan, Neptune, and all the outer planets. Even the two inner ones, the ones Mercury and Venus. I won't be able to touch the surface on one of them, but I'll be able to just, if I can just hover on the atmosphere, that'd be fine.
I mean, not recently. I actually went to Little Bighorn. That was pretty cool. Custer's Last Stand, all that. I went there recently. But on that trip, I also went to this place. Like, I literally got in a time machine and went back to Earth, back when the Earth was still being formed, bro, and got to know what that was like, dude. That's Yellowstone, man.
That show was being formed.
Freaking
Yeah,
Yellowstone,
that'll-
bro. Yellowstone is where it's at, dude. Like, if you really want to know what it's like to live in dinosaur times, man, when the Earth was still bubbling and cooking and all that, bro. Yeah, Yellowstone's the place, man. It's
Yeah,
like going in a time machine, bro.
before
If
it
you didn't
crossed it
see the
over.
animals, and you didn't know there wasn't dinosaurs around, you'd be like, yo, this is like a million years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, before Earth crusted over.
Well, not quite that far long ago, but back when a lot more activity was going on everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn, one more like, Jose. Shit, we're almost there, man. Oh, we got it. 101. There it is. Thank you to everybody that has hit the like button. Thank you to all those that voted in the poll.
I can give you more geology lessons and science of planetary lessons on the next one, Joe. Tell you more interesting factoids about Venus as being the hottest planet, not Mercury, as people think, even though it's the closest to the sun. Venus is actually the hottest.
Yeah, because it's got its own internal cooker.
Yeah, it's that that atmosphere that traps everything in,
Mm-hmm.
cooks everything. It's a literal greenhouse gas.
Yep.
That boils the surface.
Yep, that's true. And so everybody, make sure you're continuing to hit that like button. I appreciate all 104 of you hitting the like button today. That is awesome. See, they're rolling in now, Crypto. They're like, the show's about to end. I got to get it in. Now they're going to start rolling in like, making me want to keep going. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to take away the lights to below 100 for them to do it.
But thank you to everybody that voted in the poll. We had a great sample size today, and that gives us a real good indication of the mood of our audience. And look, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
1/5 of you believe in that Coach and Greer are honest with us. 1/5. I mean, that's not too good, and I think Abe Lincoln would be blushing right about now, or rolling over in his grave, one of the other.
Yeah, he'd be rolling over.
But anyway. So again, thank you all. Hit the website, tftgnetwork.com. We're gonna come back at you tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about tomorrow, but maybe we'll get some new action. Oh, tomorrow's election day. I got to get out and vote. Make sure you're doing it too.
Yep.
And I've got to, so I probably won't be going in the morning
Early at
because
6 o'clock in the morning.
I was going to say, I might not make a early morning show because I don't know how, usually everybody makes it out to be a big deal. Like, oh, get out early, the lines. Bro, if you go first thing in the morning, I've never had to wait in a line, dude, ever in my entire adult life voting. Because I go early enough.
Yeah,
I go before
lunchtime. Lunchtime people have to bear the long line.
Like the old ladies that work in the poll, like they're like, "What? You didn't bring no coffee?" I'm like, they're all sitting around watching whatever they watch in the morning. You know what I mean? Because there ain't nobody voting yet. But yeah, I'll be there, and as soon as I'm done voting, I will get on the tubes and monitor what's going on with the trade deadline situation, see if we've made any moves, and we'll certainly bring you all the news as it happens. Until then, tonight, Monday, I'm not sure we've got anything going on tonight. I do know the Blitz pickup usually goes on Monday nights. And
about 7:30, I think, or something like that.
Yep, and we got Monday Night Football tonight. So that's who we got? Colts. No, not Colts.
Yeah, they
Chiefs.
played
Oh,
Saturday.
Tampa Bay and Kansas City. Oh, great
Yeah,
slobber knocker. Man, if I wouldn't have spent 4 hours today, I probably might have called that game. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
You got a good old Midwestern matchup between Oklahoma's Baker Mayfield, Texas Tech's Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, out in the Midwest, in the middle of nowhere. It's a shame that Baker don't have some weapons, because that would have been a great game. I think it still might be a great game, but that's gonna be a fun matchup.
No.
It's gonna be a real fun matchup, man. And I really hope to see Baker Mayfield stomping off that field tonight, Conor McGregor style, big step in it, chest poked out, big cigar in his hand. But real quick, the rundown. Go over and support Lewis at the Blitz pickup tonight. And we got something tomorrow possibly in the works. I don't know. That's up to Capitan for the evening. Wednesday, you got Smoke Lounge with Shake. He's going to, I don't know what he has planned now, but I guess he'll do the Rams coach's press conference. He usually does that on Wednesdays. Thursday night, TMI is back. And, of course, on Friday, the drive time with Shake, open panel on Friday evenings for all y'all to come up and yell at other people besides me. And sometimes me too. Then we got Saturday night. We're trying to figure out when Ali's going to be back with the Wolf Pack. And then, of course, Sundays for the game. We'll be ready to go. Actually, we're playing Monday night this week against the Rams. So we'll try to figure out some kind of content for Sunday. In the meantime, you can catch me most days unless I just fall out for some reason. I'm an old guy. Not too old. Not old enough for you guys to make fun of me for it, but old enough. Oh, any bets tonight? I do have one tonight, Joe, if you want me to run through it real quick. Real simple one. I'm not trying to get too involved with betting tonight. Andy Reid is a loose cannon. I can never. The problem with Andy Reid is, same with fantasy football. He will literally do anything he wants. And there'll be some guy that's been on the bottom of the roster that we've never heard of that will get 5 touchdowns tonight. You know what I mean? So I try not to bet Andy Reid games. They're just too hard to pin down.
Jacobs may be playing.
And they can literally win any way they want to. So you can't even be like the over-under or the spread or anything like that, because they can literally win any way they want to. I would say maybe go take the over on the 45.5. I've heard sharps talking about that. Take the 9 for the Buccaneers to cover. That I've heard sharps saying that. But for my part tonight, I got a $1 bet. $1 that can win me 151. And that's for an anytime touchdown to Travis Kelce, an anytime touchdown to Cade Otton, the Bucs tight end, and an anytime touchdown to the third running back for the Buccaneers, Jalen McMillan. I have a feeling, I envision a goal line situation where they give it to McMillan because he's the fresh guy, and everybody's like, oh, who's this McMillan guy? And he destroys everybody's fantasy slate. That's what I envision for McMillan. And the last one that I have on that parlay, to record 6+ receptions, Kareem Hunt. Because McHolmes. Did I just call him McHolmes? Patrick Mahomes has literally nobody to throw to but Travis Kelce and his running backs. Jalen. Yeah, you're right, Joe. That's what I meant. I wasn't thinking about Jalen McMillan. I was thinking about my take on whether Bucky Irving would get one. Yeah, Jalen McMillan. But again, Baker has nobody to throw to. So there you go on Jalen McMillan. And same with Patrick Mahomes. Has nobody to throw to but his tight end and his running back. And I can picture a situation very much like yesterday between the Bills and the Dolphins, who threw to the flat quite a bit. Both teams did. We threw it 8 times at least to the flat to our running back. And the Bills equally threw it about 8 or 9 times to their running back. So I got 6+ receptions for Kareem Hunt from Patrick Mahomes tonight. But that's why I took Jalen McMillan wrist. And now that I'm thinking about it, I couldn't decide between the anytime touchdown between Rashad White and Bucky Irving. So I said F the both of them. I faded both of them and took Jalen McMillan. We'll see if Baker can get him a touchdown. Now, the Cade Otton pick, that one is chalky. That's kind of a given because Otton has had touchdowns in like all their games and all that. You know what I mean? So, right. That's what I'm hoping, Joe. And likewise, all the checkdowns to Kareem Hunt tonight. I almost took Kareem Hunt for the anytime touchdown because I can picture him getting a check down at the 15-yard line and taking it in the end zone like he always does. So Kareem Hunt wouldn't be a bad pick for an anytime touchdown either if you're doing solo bets and got some money to throw down. DeAndre Hopkins, yeah, CCRR, but it kind of could go either way. They could use the hell out of him, or it could be this situation where he just got in the building and they, I mean, you know how it is when a fresh trade is made. The guy tends to not actually get a lot of action. But given Reed's history and Patrick Mahomes wanting to utilize anybody he can, yeah, you could be right. Hopkins could end up being the guy fresh into the building. Sure. He certainly has the hands for it. So, the other one was, I thought I took him, but I guess I didn't. I wanted to take Mecole Hardman on the anytime touchdown because I could also see DeAndre, not by design per se, but by accident. I could see DeAndre acting as a decoy for a long touchdown to Mecole Hardman. And Patrick Mahomes has never been shy to throw a bomb to a wide open or a single covered Mecole Hardman. And Mecole Hardman can actually make those catches. So we'll see. That's a good one. DeAndre, Mecole, most games their running back gets an anytime touchdown. And right now, the guy they've been relying heavily on is Kareem. Now, that's another one, too. Maybe a jet sweep touchdown for Mecole. Yeah, absolutely, because he is a fast guy. That's why the Jets wanted him for a minute. They just didn't know what to do with him. It's the Jets. Anyway, so that's my bets for the night. I do suggest taking the +9 for Baker Mayfield. I mean, for the Bucks. I can picture them covering that 9 points given the struggles the Chiefs have had on offense. While not struggling to win games, they do struggle to put up points. Good point, CC. Hopkins already has some wear under his belt there, so yeah, it could get him involved more. And of course, the more time that goes by in practice, the more Mahomes gets used to his tendencies and can utilize him in a critical situation. Man, all these are great points, bro. That's why I stay away from betting on the Chiefs because it's so hard. It's like shooting fish in a barrel, man. You just don't know what Reed and Mahomes are going to want to target. It's really tough, man. And you don't know how the game's going to play out because they kind of let the game flow dictate where they go, I've done a lot better betting them live during the game than I have before the game. Because it gets a little easier to see what you expect them to do, let's say in the second half or whatever. But anyway, appreciate the back and forth, CC there. That quite very informative, adding to my calculus. Maybe I'll throw another dollar bet in somewhere, do another parlay. Exactly, Ving. Ving is hitting it right on the head, especially for fantasy. I mean, it's just I wouldn't be putting a fantasy lineup in tonight. There's just no sense. You might as well just have a computer pick it for you and hope you get lucky. You know, have a chimpanzee pick it for you or something. But anyway, 6 minutes away from 4 hours now. And well over 100 likes. So I appreciate y'all again. Join me tomorrow. Maybe I'm still in a good mood. I'm still in a great mood. We still got the reggae jam in here. Let's put it back on for the end. We still got the reggae jamming. Good. Sun will shine tomorrow in Miami. I think we might have finally hit spring with the Miami Dolphins. It's been a long winter with no execution. And the spring execution coming. Help is truly on the way. We got a little help yesterday from Tyler Bass. Might have saved our whole franchise for the next few years. So y'all have a great evening. Throw on some reggae. You'll understand why I love it so much. And fins up. Have a good night.